Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Players Take, episode 190. I'm your host, Justin DeSimone, joined by my co-host, Montrell Rice. And you haven't heard his voice yet, but you will. We're joined by a special guest this week, Deejay Hyuga. How are you doing, sir?
I'm not special.
Yeah, you are. Come on, man. I'm trying to give you some... shine. I'm trying to give you some shine, man, and like, you know, you're just rejecting it immediately.
I'm sorry. I'm special.
It's not a good start to the show.
I'm very special. I'm special to you, and I'm special to Montrell.
Indeed, that's very true.
And your girlfriend
and my girlfriend.
Yeah,
absolutely, and your family probably, and
yes,
your friends
in the universe.
In the universe, yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, Montrell, how are you doing, man?
I am actually okay today. This week was pretty long.
Just today?
Yeah, but just today I'm good though.
Okay. I caught you on a good day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay too. It's almost the end of the week. I got some vacation lined up next week, so I'm looking forward to that.
3-day weekend.
More than that, 5-day weekend actually.
Ooh,
I went
like
big.
A 4-day.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm gonna go to the Texas State Fair next week, so
nice.
Nice.
Hopefully enjoy that. Try to go on. I'm gonna go on a weekday, so it's not as insane.
They got a football game playing down there this Saturday. It's going to be packed.
Yeah, that's usually when we go. We always go during the Texas OU game every year, inadvertently, without planning it. We always do that, and I'm tired. I'm sick of that. I want to go to the fair when it's like relaxed and there's 200,000 people there. So yeah, that's our plan for that. So, well, boys, I mean, I don't know, you know, how's life beyond today? How's life treating both of you?
All right, Deli, what the hell? Oh, she scared the shit out of me. I'm
sorry. Hey, get her on the mic, man.
Deli, that's my cat. I love Deli.
Let's see how Deli's doing. But, well, again, how are you boys doing?
Living life, man, or barely living.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel that, Montrell. As an adult, I'm feeling like that more and more every day. But, you know, I'm starting to actually, at this point in my life, starting to actually enjoy life a little bit more, right? Not taking it for granted. So you're trying to be happy more and then be sad. And I'm feeling nice. Thank you for asking.
Be sad.
You know, besides being sad, being sad.
It's a fair thing to bring up. I mean, being happy does take effort. Like it's not just a thing that happens most of the time, you know.
Mm-hmm. And like doing that, I feel a little bit like good in life overall. I feel like me doing that and making that change is like applying to life in general and just positive things happening around my life, and that shit just is nice. I like it.
That's good, man. Well, yeah, as I said, things are okay with me. I'm you know, just trucking through work as usual, living life. But all right, well, let's get into the show proper. For those of you who haven't listened before, this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and your favorite podcast app of choice. And if you'd like to send us a question that we will answer on the show, you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com, or you can send us a message on Twitter at theplayerstake. All right, boys, let's just get right into it with what we've been playing this week. Does anyone want to go first? DJ, you want to start us off as the guest?
I will start you guys off. Thank you for allowing me to go first. I appreciate your kindness. The games that I've been playing, haven't been playing many really, because I've been like working on my game. But the games that I have played, this one is, I play this off and on, right? Just because it's just something quick and easy to play. It's just TFT, Team Fight Tactics. I took a break for it from a while when I just like dived into my game for a bit, but I got back into it again. And it's just fun because it's just one of those games where like, you know, strategy rules all, but at the same time, like you have the randomness because it's not like I get to build my deck of cards, right? So in Yu-Gi-Oh, making a metaphor for Yu-Gi-Oh, it's not like I'm just building my card deck, but like if all the monsters from like the first initial Yu-Gi-Oh I had access to, or a certain amount of them, and then they just like every round I could just randomly pick each one of them. I just buy which one I want, and then as you merge in copies, it's just you getting stronger. That's how you get to get monsters stronger. You just got to buy multiple copies. 3 copies makes a 2-star monster. 3 2-star monsters make a 3-star monster, etc. And so with it being team like League of Legends characters, like I'm getting into League of Legends because, or just the lore of League of Legends because of TFT. I'm liking all the different comps that you can make now. Like I feel like this is probably like the most versatile and balanced season they had in a while, and it's just fun because I can just go in and play with about 3 to 5 different teams besides using like the same 2 teams and just climbing that way. So yeah, that's been fun playing it in and out while working on my game. And then recently I got into 2K this past weekend because I just bought an Xbox Series X. Gonna give it to you.
Brother.
It was so funny how I ran across the Xbox because my brother was over here and he got the S, and he was playing he got the little TV that you attach to it. And so he's playing 2K, and then like I wanted 2K, but I was gonna wait till Black Friday to buy the Xbox in that. But I said fuck it, man. I was trying to call GameStop to see if they had just the regular ones in stock. I went up there. They said they had an X. I was like, "Fuck it!" Like impulse buy. I go for it.
I mean, well, they're available, man. I mean, the PS5 is not. So
I'm surprised I found the X. I've been seeing S's everywhere. So like for them to have an X, like that was what I wanted. I didn't want to buy an S and then upgrade to an X. Like I just wanted to get the X straight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing 2K. 2K is fun because like, just to even talk about the development of 2K, like 2K is one of those games, and I tell my brother this every year, and it's so funny because everything I said became true, right? Is that like the way that 2K develops, it's like early access, and you paying for that shit every year, and so it's not like we just wait for whatever game to come out and we just play that finished version of it, right? The finished version of 2K is usually 3 or whatever years out from the first version of 2K. And 2K does a thing where they don't stay with the same engine. They will, besides upgrading that same engine, it's like, I don't know if they switching engines, but I know they switched the whole system itself. And so like you have new iterations of games. So for example, 2K14 was the same as that game from 15, 16, and 17, right? And all they did was just update the game itself, right? But it's literally at its core the same as that game. They changed the game itself, and like throughout the years, people keep saying 2K gets better. If you ask a 2K player, they would say one of the best 2Ks is 16 or 17, right? No duh.
That's what my brother DJ said.
And that's what every 2K player would say, right? And then people say they hate 2K18. You know why you hate 2K18? Is because they literally changed the actual game itself. It's a brand new engine, right? Everything's new. Everything's changed, right?
So that's like little things are different.
Exactly. Yeah. So like you have to learn something completely new. And I like that, right? But like 2K18, outside of that, they made a whole bunch of other bullshit. That's when the microtransactions shit started with the My Player. It was just a bad game overall. 2K19 was the better 2K. People like 2K19, but it was nothing but an improvement from everything they did with 18. And now you can really tell because like they start to identify with their onlines with the parks. Then then you have like up to 20, which is fine. But with next gen, you had 21. People hate the next gen 2K. But with me, I liked it. I was like, I can see the change. Like I'm liking how this feel. It's not great. They have issues. But I told my brother, I was like, bro, like they developed the game in years. Like we're not getting a finished product, which is sad, right? Because I really feel like if 2K switched to the model of a free-to-play game, or they can do some shit like we just have the game, and then like they update the game throughout the year. You just make me rebuy the game like a fucking like 2
you lose all your microtransactions too if you bought any between years, right? Like
exactly, like everything changed. Like I would love to carry over my player from last year, right? And the great thing about 2K, they do things to make you incentives to create new players. Like they have something called a rebirth build. Once you hit a certain level or do this certain mission structure, you can just create a new character and get them automatically to like I think it's like level 88 or level 89, like overall 88 or 90 or some shit like that. And you already have your badge points unlocked. Like almost everything is halfway done for you. You only have to do half the work, right? And it gets you to the point where you can play online and test new builds without like basically investing all that money into it, right? And you can really only invest the money into the build if you want to, or just let's say time, because a lot of people at that point, you're not investing money into it. You're investing the time into the character besides what they used to do in the past is investing money, which is dope. I like that. And so if you take that to a free-to-play structure, like for now, perfect example, you release 2K20, right? 2K20 has this big-ass fucking online My Park. People didn't fucking like it, or I think it was 21 Next Gen. 2K22 was literally the better version of that, right? And everything wrong about that game was corrected in the next game. I shouldn't have had to pay another $70 for that. That should have just been an update, right?
So how would you feel if they went halfway, right? You're talking about them going like free to play, which obviously we've talked about on the show before with like Madden and any of these sports games, right? I think that model would make a lot of sense for them, but they don't want to lose their box sales, right? They make a fuck ton of money.
I think they'll make a lot more money if they go free to play.
Money if they go to free to play just because of the microtransactions.
Dude, but they have the best of both worlds. They already make a fuck ton of money off the micro. They're making $1 billion.
That's
like
true.
Madden makes $1 billion off microtransactions every year.
Your game is free to play now, right? Guess what's happening? You're getting more players, more people who will play the game.
True. That is true.
Which is more money going into your pocket. And so, yes, like it's just like everything else. Are you going to pay the upfront cost? Most people are not going to pay an upfront cost. The people who's going to pay that cost is the people who really want to play it. Then the people who's going to pay
it might actually get me to play if it was free to play.
That's the point, right? And then you don't have to spend a lot of money. $20 is it. If you spend $20, you're in. And then eventually with games like 2K, how the upgrade system work, like you don't have to put money into this game, to be honest, right? It's just a time sink, just like everything, like every other thing is it's going to be a time sink, right? And it's always been like that. I compare it to an MMO. I don't like the microtransactions. I understand why it's there. Do I use them? Yes, of course I use them because I don't mind playing for a game if I'm really enjoying the game and I know I'm going to keep paying it. I think of my fucked up brain. I think of microtransactions a way to support the game that I like, especially mobile games, right? I play a lot of free mobile games, never put money into them, but like sometimes I would throw like the $5 or the $10 because I'm like, I'm spending all this time on your game. Like, why not? Like, and especially on multiplayer games, was $60 compared to all the money that I'm gonna all the time that I'm gonna sink into this game, because fucking that's $60. That's 2 hours of work right there for me. I know I'm gonna play this game for more than 2 hours, so like, why can I not put like another $5 or $10 into this game if I'm really enjoying the game, right?
Yeah, but what if they did it this? It's because the way you're describing this, it sounds like they go in cycles with 2K, which I don't really think they do with Madden. But where
kind of prove that.
But like it sounds like it's a 3-4 year cycle. So what if they did a box game every 4 years? You know, where they sell you a $70 game, and it's on a new engine, and then they improve that game over the course of those 4 years. You know.
Okay, here's my pitch, right? Here's my pitch. You make 2K free to play, right? Starting with 2K on 23, right? This is free to play. Next year is just improvements to the game, roster update, whatever. You know, you don't charge people, but the following year, charge them like every other year now, right? Because if you charge them every other year, you can just do like, hey, here's the big update to the game, and like, if you have to pay for it to play it, because then if you do that, let's say that they just keep the same engine and just don't upgrade it, right? You can separate people. You can say, hey, you know, here's one. If you pay the $50 upgrade, you're going to be playing with these people for it. But if not, like, you be playing with these people. But even if you don't have the upgrade, right? Even if I pay for it, I can still play with the people in the past, right? Then eventually it's going to be so far in the future that version, you can just make that one pay version. That's going to be free to play. And then whenever you want to charge for the next one, you can do that. but just like let it go years. Like, don't do that shit every year. Don't do that shit every other year. It should be like sometimes it could be 2-year wait. Sometimes it's a 3-year wait, right?
Yeah.
But like,
Well, that's a shift I'd love to see with the sports game industry, because I'm gonna be honest. I like this is everything you're talking about is exactly what Montrell and I have issue with. It's like we get our asses like fucking reamed every time we talk about Madden, but it's because of this predatory shit you're talking about. And Madden is a perfect example of it this year. Like we haven't talked about the release this year at all, but dude, it's a fucking joke. Like what they what they released this year. You know, their marketing campaign was the most polished version of Madden ever, and the game is literally broken. You know, like it's.
I don't pay attention to Madden, so I don't even know what's going on over there.
Yeah, but dude, it's worse than, it sounds way worse than what 2K is doing. At least it sounds like 2K still makes a quality game, but
yeah, that's one thing I would say about 2K. People have problems with 2K, but like I feel like when it really comes down to the gameplay, 2K, because a lot of 2K has a lot of casual gamers, just like Call of Duty, right? And when they talk about problems with the game, they don't really know how to explain and express the actual issues people have with games. And with 2K, I think it comes down to they really need just better servers. That's it, right? Because the gameplay is good. Like some fuck shit happens, but that's just video games, right? Anybody play a video game, some fuck shit happens that we never see before. But like if 2K had better online servers, I think people will have a better experience, because when you play in a park, the servers are just like the connection is just trash, right? It's always delayed. It's like a fighting game, bro. If you can see your connection time, your ping at all times, it would be crazy. It's like a fighting game. I compare 2K to fighting games, right? When it comes to the players, because with fighter games, when people play online, we get good and deal with the lag, right? We preemptively press our buttons. We know what to do and things of that nature, right? And it's easy to feel the lag in fighting games, right? And now we got frame counters so we can see the lag, right? Then when that player plays offline with no lag, that fighting game player is still as good as he was online, if not even better. That is not like that with 2K players, bro. The 2K players dead ass is good as fuck in lag. They can play phenomenal in lag. I cannot play in this shit. Like I have to change my jump shot and make shit late so I can shoot in lag and do things in lag. Fucking they got a mode on here. They introduced this last year, which is you can do 3v3 games, which is a regular part game, but in a matchmaking environment, which is dope. Like 2K needs to add matchmaking in a matchmaking environment, but you can't go in with the squad. So if me and you,
I thought they did have matchmaking. Well, I guess they have like a community matchmaking where the community, like if you ain't 99, I'm not hooping with you, pretty much.
All 2K matchmaking is like, hey, here's a basketball court. You step on the next spot and hope 2 more people step on the next spot to play with you. Or if you have a squad, you'll step on the squad spot and play. Or you can go to the rec, and a rec is matchmaking. That's 5v5. But the problem with the rec is that they don't just put you on one court. You share a court, like it's like Joe Dumars Fieldhouse when there's multiple courts, but you got 2 courts of AI playing. So you just got all this background data being used for no reason, and it's lagging up the fucking 5v5 experience. And it's the same way in Pro-Am. The only time when it's just like a regular basketball court and you playing online is the 3v3 no squads matchmaking. And that fucking connection is so fucking buttery smooth. It was the only 2K game last year I played in a while when I'm on the mic talking shit to people, because I know they can't guard me. And like Montrell, I was toxic as shit. But it shows that, like, and I tell people this all the time, and I was telling them when I was playing, I was like, you playing fucking lag, you ain't good, blah, blah, blah. I just talk my shit because I know it's true, and I prove my point every game. I never do that in the park because I know I can't play in the park. But like if 2K have better servers and I can have the same experience that I had in matchmaking in a park, that would be dope. 2K also needs matchmaking. I need to be able to just randomly walk into a room and matchmake with my friends or random people and get a good connection. I think that's 2K problem. It's like what people say in the fighting game community about like the online lobbies and like that hub system that they have in like almost every Namco Bandai fighting game. People don't like that shit. But what they doing with Street, that makes sense. They liked it. They just people fighter games one is just a pressure button, hit quick game, get with a player and pick my characters, play the game. They don't want to do all this extra shit, and that's what 2K does.
All I gotta say is I don't know about 2K, but it's just like be careful what you wish for with the matchmaking, because like right now Apex is going through like a huge matchmaking ordeal right now.
I mean,
so
they've
it's like,
always
yeah.
had the problem. It's just people are for some reason all of a sudden talking about it. It's been here forever. Been here forever, dude.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
you want to talk about
I'm
broken games? We don't need to get into that.
I'm having fun with 2K. It's fun. I'm having fun with the Xbox. It's a dope. I like this new controller, right? I like the little grips, the little things they put on the grips and on the trigger, the grips on the trigger and the grips on the back of the fingers. Definitely might be buying me an Elite controller. If this shit feels this good, I can only imagine what an Elite controller feels like. But yeah, 2K's fun. If you play 2K and you say you want to go play this year, or you was thinking about playing
No,
2K,
I said I am buying it this year. I'm probably gonna buy it on sale, but I did say I was gonna buy it this year.
Yeah, I would say if you're a basketball person, you wanted to play a quality basketball game and just have fun, I think this is probably the best 2K to do since 2K like 17. Outside of that, the other two games, last two, I'm sorry, I've been going for too long.
Well, yeah, DJ, you want to talk about Walking Dead first, and then me and Montrell will go, and then we'll talk about Overwatch.
I'm completely fine with that, and I was just about to ask if you want me to do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Walking Dead was just pretty short. I just started playing the Walking Dead with my girlfriend.
You doing the Telltale?
Yes, the Telltale one.
Okay.
I'm playing that with her because I've been telling her about it. I'm just trying to get her into like video games, expand her video game shit besides just playing Sims, right?
Yeah, good luck. That's all my girl plays. So.
Bro, it's been working. So, Montrell, play games like this. This shit helps, right? So, what started me down this path was me playing Cyberpunk. I didn't put Cyberpunk on here, but I'm playing Cyberpunk. I haven't played in a while because I moved. I'm gonna get back into it. Dude, I know y'all talk shit about Cyberpunk. Yes, I know it's a bad game. I agree with. I mean, not a bad game, but it was a broken game.
I'm not gonna talk. I already said. I'm not gonna talk shit about Cyberpunk.
No,
I said that a long time ago.
It's not even just about talking shit, but like the shit talking is well deserved as far as launch, right? It launch your bugs.
We're like 2 years past that though. At this point, I mean,
I don't like when people keep bringing it. I was like, all right, we get it, y'all. Let's talk about the current state of Cyberpunk, right? And right now, the current state of Cyberpunk is a fucking phenomenal ass game. I'm planning on playing it when the expansion comes out. That's kind of my plan right now. I would say play it before the expansion because no lie, Justin, the game is probably only 4 hours long. The main every story, bro. I'm going to explain it to you, and it's going to make sense.
Oh yeah, right? Let's go, man! Short games, let's go, baby. I need it.
Every story in the game is nothing but a good ass fucking side mission. This game is literally, no lie, what I want fucking Mass Effect to be. The reason I say that, and it's not just with the mechanic. When I went back into the game, I found out shit about the game that I didn't know when I first played it. Like everything you do in that game to get good in anything, you have to do stuff. Like you have to craft the craft, right, to get your craft level and to go up, of course. But every skill that you unlock, that skill gets powerful the more that you use it. And I did not know that shit. And that shit is blowing my mind on my second playthrough because now I'm starting to use specific shit. Like I saw this one dude using like the mantis claws, and he hacked everyone. Fucking set off an EMP, jumped down, mantis claw assassinated somebody, fucking hacked someone else and made him kill himself. Like let's just shut up. Like, dude, it's so fun when you play. When you get the gameplay loop combat wise, it's so fucking fun and fulfilling. But yes, it's a short game as far as like the game is nothing but the side quests. And what I mean by that is like, when you go through like a good side quest in an RPG game and like that, like for one character and that probably lasts like 4 hours and you get all their story and it's so fucking good. That's literally what this game is for every fucking mission. And those missions be so fucking good and enthralling. The main campaign is 4 hours. Most everybody that I see play this game never play the game straight through. If you play the game straight through, you would get done with that shit in like 4 hours. And what's dope about it is that since it's kind of like set up like a movie in these acts, is that before you continue with the main missions, you get caught up in all these side missions that you start doing that you never do the main missions until you complete all the side missions. Like when you start working through like Pan Am's and Judy's storyline, right? Like that shit gets so good that you never go back to the main mission. Then when you think you're about to go back, they end up calling you up and you keep continuing that shit. Like more shit keeps popping up until like you finally complete the missions, or you have to wait till the next chapter or whatever of the main story to go through before you can do that shit. And when you beat the game, best fucking end game content ever. Like, I really wish they can make more shit for Cyberpunk, but seeing what they are going to do, we talk about that later. I understand why they are not, but end game content is the fucking shit. When you think you're done with it, first you get an epilogue, right? It's multiple different epilogues depending on how you beat the game, right? But after the epilogue, they just rewind you back to the point before the main mission as everything else. They give you all the bullshit. But more story shit start unlocking. Like you do more missions with band members that Johnny had, one of Johnny band members. That shit goes on for like another 5 to 6 hours. You find out more about your past self. You start working with friends that you like, your companions that you did missions for, like their loyalty missions. Like you get more shit, and it's dope as fuck because for most of that shit to come up, you had to do those missions prior. You had to build these. Like, it's not like they just feeding this shit. Like, you have to do shit for more shit to happen. And it's such good fucking game design. I love it. But anyways, that goes to...
Yeah, DJ, how did we even get there? We're talking
about
about Walking Dead, bro.
My girl was watching me play Overwatch.
Okay,
I mean, not Overwatch. She was watching me playing Cyberpunk. And then one of my favorite missions came on about, like, basically some people getting indoctrinated, right? The shit, dude, the fucking mission was so crazy. But she's watching me play that, and she started liking the stories and shit like that. And she's just listening. I was like, damn, like, you know, she's like what a gamer would say, a non-gamer would say when they see good story in a video game, right? And then I start talking about games like Walking Dead because we was playing one of the Madame games on the House of Anthology. I think it was a Madame. We was playing that. And then we went to Walking Dead. I was like, you may like this. This is actually one of the better video games. People in the game industry rave about this, and plus it has a black main character. Like, you would really fucking love this. And so we was playing through it. It was funny because I'm trying to explain to her how to pick the options and everything, and how to move the camera. And like the Walking Dead, the first game, that has a beautiful fucking tutorial. I never noticed it because I'm a fucking gamer, but looking at it from a non-gamer's perspective, it's a beautiful fucking tutorial. They teach you everything it is about that game, even story, within like 10 minutes. And it was so funny because watching her start playing, you see her doing everything kind of off. And then like that one first action moment when a police zombie comes to kill you and you have to defend yourself, I see her click everything together, and she was just moving fast, boom, 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 and she did everything. And I was like, damn, like that's pretty fucking good.
I think I still have Walking Dead like season.
It's all on Game Pass. Every one of them is on Game Pass.
All on Game Pass. Okay, I think I still have it on my Xbox anyway.
But I would recommend like play shit like that with Deanna, right? Or Diana. Deanna. Play that with Deanna. Like, I think games like this is perfect to also open them up to other mechanics, because I never noticed how many mechanics there are in a Walking Dead. Then you seeing her learn all of them. It's like baby's first game. She's learning all this shit, and it's dope because I'm like, okay, the next game I'm gonna have her play is Detroit Become Human. Because it's
she doesn't need to know how to play it. She played Breath of the Wild.
Oh, then yeah,
she damn near beat it.
Yeah, yeah, she's fine. Yeah, she's fine.
But games like this she may actually like, because you know they just good story games.
Oh no, she loves Breath of the Wild. Yeah, she loves Breath of. She downloaded this one indie game called Spirit Fairy. It was a 2D platformer, and she liked that game. So yeah, she know how to play video games. She just don't really play them too much. She plays games that like she latches on to.
Well, Montrell, like I mean, to be fair to her, she hears you playing, Apex and League and raging.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know.
She actually
off.
likes when I play Apex. She hates when I play League. She can't stand when I play League. She tries to watch me play it. And she's like, I just don't fucking get it. I don't understand why you like the game. And I say the same thing. I'm like, you know what? I know either.
That's why you need a shotcaster.
Well, no, for real. No, league requires an announcer, I think, to understand. Like if you don't play it, because unless you have control of the view yourself and can like click around and see, it's like it would be impossible to understand items and and the way certain mechanics work, because you don't have the information at your fingertips. Like, you can't figure it out, So, but all right, Montrell, what have you been playing, man? You actually playing anything other than League and Apex? Or?
Those are 2 games, man. I havened touched Xenoblade.
No Xenoblade
I am getting the
Xenoblade.
Yeah, I have been getting Xenoblade fatigue, so I put it down.
I mean,
I'm probably gonna play it some more this weekend, but
2.5 games in, I would expect it.
Yeah, I'm at the part Xenoblade where I got Fiona, so I'm like traveling in I'm not gonna say what I'm traveling in, but I'm at that part where the kind of world kind of opens up again, and you're doing that part or whatever. So I gotta wrap my head around that again. So that's what I'm doing, because I'm trying to get the perfect setup for my party. I do have a break, topple, days, burst squad, but I really want a break, topple, launch, smash, because you do way more damage when you smash. So that's what I'm trying to get right now, but it's just not working out for me, unfortunately. So I'm trying to figure that out, and it's just because the issue is all the launch attacks that I have so far are only I can't remember what you call them, but they're the special moves you got to build up your gauge for. So but there are launch moves out there for certain classes that I haven't unlocked yet that have it in their regular rotation. So that's what I'm trying to get right now. So it's just one of those games where I have to play. I'm literally playing it like an MMO at this point, and I'm just like farming and doing random missions and looking at question marks on the screen, just running at them, hoping I get a new class or something like that, and doing that shit. And then I'm playing Apex Legends. So that's pretty much it for me right now.
Fair enough. I'm mostly just playing The Last of Us. I mean, I'm playing Apex as well, but don't need to talk about that. So I beat The Last of Us on Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember what day exactly, but I've been cleaning up trophies the last couple days with it.
You going to platinum it?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the plat.
I still got a Platinum Horizon.
Yeah, it's the remake, the PS5 release that they just did. The platinum is so much easier. You really only basically
it's about like Zero Dawn, not Zero Dawn. What's the new one? Forbidden West. I got a platinum that one. I got that Horizon one. That was easy.
Yeah, but yeah, the Last of Us. You just got to get all the collectibles basically. In this new version, whereas the old one was fucking horrible. You had to like do multiplayer for like 80 hours and
what?
It was insane. Yeah.
Uncharted does that as well. Like they make you play. I don't like
that shit either. Yeah. So this one's way more simplified. So I am going for it. I'm actually not far away from getting it. I just need to finish the DLC Left Behind, which I'm working on now. I started that. So
have you never played it?
I have. Yeah. No,
you should have played it like in the correct part. Like I would have quit out and played it.
No, I'm good. I didn't need to do that. But so this game, I mean, DJ, did you actually get this game, the re-release?
Yes, I have. I didn't know I'm start playing it yet.
You haven't played it yet. Okay.
Yeah, me and my girl, I'm gonna play through that and Last of Us 2 because I still have yet to play 2.
Oh, you haven't played 2?
I know all about the story. So
are you kidding me?
Yeah, wow. So that was during the time when that came out. Ghost of Tsushima came out. I didn't actually have a PS4, and I was waiting for the PS5 to come out to play those games. And the only game I played of that year was Final Fantasy 14 on 7. I bought Ghost of Tsushima, but
dude, that's crazy, man. No, Last of Us 2 is fucking awesome, dude.
It looks good.
Oh, you still haven't played Last of Us 2?
No.
That'll be a fun game. That's going to be a really fun.
That'll be play that game, bro.
I'm going to play it next. That's what I'm playing after I'm done with the part 1. So yeah, part 1 though. I talked about this last week, but just to kind of round it out with this is that I think this remake it looks phenomenal. It looks great. It looks almost as good as part 2 does. But in terms of gameplay, they really didn't do much. It is still a 2013 PS3 game in terms of its design, the way the combat feels for the most part. It's still got a lot of clunkiness. in terms of design. There's really annoying shit. This actually happened to me earlier today, because trying to platinum this game is kind of annoying because you have to get every collectible. So that means every like comic book, every artifact, every optional conversation. You have to hit all those, all the shiv doors, all that shit, right? But the way they design this game is, and they did this with part 2 as well, but if you go past a certain point in certain areas, you will lock yourself out of what you just went through, right? It like cuts you off. And sometimes it's really arbitrary. Like the one I was doing today in Left Behind is like, like Ellie and Riley are in a fucking store and they open a door and they're not being chased or anything. This is just a totally quiet part of the game. They go, like, I go out of the door, the exit, and then the door closes behind me and you cannot go back in. There's no reason for that to be a thing there. They don't let you go back in, and I fucked up. I went through it too early and I had to like replay the whole chapter basically to get the collectibles I hadn't gotten yet. And I was fucking pissed. So that kind of shit is still there. And it's like, that kind of design is frustrating because it's not always clear when that's going to happen to you. So if you are trying to play a completionist playthrough, you can end up fucking yourself up if you don't manually save often, because the auto saving will save the second you go through that door and you cannot go back. Like there are no saves behind that. So
can you turn off auto saving?
I don't think you can. You might be able to, but again, you'd have to manually save anyways.
It's not very accessible.
Yeah, you might as well. You might as well just manually save with the auto saves, just to save yourself that headache. So, that kind of stuff is annoying. So this game is like, I mean, it's a really good game. The story holds up for sure. It is still a very powerful story. I will say it is funny to play through it again, though. I forgot. There's like, it feels like it's not as in depth as I thought it was, or as I remember it being. It kind of feels like there's, specifically around Joel and Ellie's relationship, there's like a point in the game where I don't know, this is a fucking 9-year-old game, so spoilers if you don't want to hear this. I'm just going to talk about it for a second here, so go forward like a minute or two. But like their relationship, like there's a certain part in the game where their relationship like kind of degrades, and then all of a sudden at the like throughout a chapter, like at the end of the chapter, they're just kind of good all of a sudden, and then they're good for the rest of the game. It's like weird. It doesn't like there isn't enough dialogue there to justify it for me. I was kind of unsatisfying.
What part was it? What are you talking
That's
about?
the part when you go to the dam. You meet Tommy and stuff at the ranch. You remember that? Yeah. That whole section, like they don't get to finish their conversation, and then all of a sudden, like Joel's being moody, Ellie's being moody, and then all of a sudden, like Joel makes a joke and they're good. It's like, okay. I mean, it's not, that's like probably the weakest part of the story for me there. But overall, though, it's still great. I think it's still great. I don't think it's better than part 2, though. I personally like part 2 more, honestly. So I'm going to confirm that by playing it, though. So
gameplay-wise, it seems like I would like it more. I've seen clips of it, and I saw Montrell playing it. Like
part 2?
That shit looks
part 2, dude. No, there's a chasm between the gameplay of part 1 and part 2. Like it is. Yeah, people say the improvements are minor, but I completely fucking disagree.
It's Resident Evil versus Vanquish,
bro. It's totally transformed. Like it's not just the gameplay mechanics, though. Like not just controlling Ellie and the guns and all that stuff. It's the environments, dude. Like the combat encounter design is like on a whole different fucking level. Like part 1's encounter design isn't good. Like it's not good for the most part. There's very few encounters in part 1 that I would say are great. Part 2 is fucking full of them, like full of amazing encounters. So yeah. Actually, I mean, I look forward to you playing it, dude. I'd love to hear your thoughts when you're when you finish it up. So
will do.
Okay, that's it for me. DJ, we want to talk about Overwatch 2. So you've been playing it, but we want to talk about that as well as kind of some issues that have been going on with it. So go ahead and give us your thoughts on the game overall, though.
I would just say that because like the issues with the game is gonna bleed into like the shit that I'm talking about. But to start off, so far, I like what Overwatch has done with this. The 2 update. This is something that, of course, with the current game industry, most games are doing this now. But it's great that Overwatch finally has done the free to play shit. They finally took off loot boxes. They got the Fortnite style store. So basically, if you play Fortnite, you know what to expect. It was the dude who first initially designed Fortnite. He was one of the multiplayer designers. I forget his actual title, but he is what came to Overwatch 2 during the development, and that's why they made this pivot like 2 years ago, right? But it's a great pivot. I like it being free to play. So if you already own Overwatch before, you have all characters, you have all your skins, if you have your accounts merged from Xbox, PlayStation, whatever, because all of it was separate. You have all skins for everything is all on one account now. How you unlock characters now, so brand new accounts. I don't know if they are doing a free rotation, but I know you basically unlock characters like in a League of Legends style, right? You can either pay for the character up front or you just grind to get XP to unlock the character.
Is that true? Is that true? So the character roster is not fully unlocked for new players?
Yes, and it's like I don't know how much of it is not unlocked, but I know that some of it is locked out, or it could just be new characters that are locked out. Which would make sense, right? But with those new characters, right, you play a certain amount of games to unlock them, or they unlocked on a battle pass, or and then you play a certain amount of games to unlock them afterwards. So if you missed it on a battle pass, and there's a free unlock on a battle pass, right? But you have to play to get to that point, right? Which is smart. I kind of like that. You have people bitching about it, but I like it because all that does is just makes people not just fucking play that character, especially in comp, and just ruin games, right? Because people don't know how to play the character, especially this new healer. She's has a high skill base. So like if you're not good at aiming, if you're not good at fucking movement, and you're fucking moving around the environment, and your verticality when it comes to map awareness, like you're just not going to be good with this character. So I like that you have to play the game a bit to unlock the character. And then the same thing goes for comp. And so at comp, a new account has to play at least 50 games or win 50 games to play in comp. The way they do their new comp system is not what it was in the past. It's like any other kind of like fighting game, or just any other like online comp. When you have, or League of Legends, Montrell, same thing. When you have the rank, then you got like the different ranks in there. Then you have it's that shit, right? So the way they change their rank, how they rank is what I never seen this in a game before. They don't judge you after every game. They judge your performance for 7 wins. And so after 7 wins, they give you your new rank if you go up or down a tier, if you move up to like, platinum or gold. And if you get 20 losses or 20 draws in a row, whichever comes first, and then you get judged based on that, and then it resets and it does it again. I haven't hit my 7 wins yet. I only played a couple of comp games. I played 4. I'm 3-1 right now. So I don't know how that works just yet. But overall, I mean, it's free to play. It's everything. It's the same thing about Overwatch. You got the arcade. You got the quick play. They lock out new characters for 2 weeks for comp. And so you got to wait 2 weeks before you play any new characters. And new characters come every other season.
Oh my god! I wish fucking League would do that shit, bro.
How often the League release characters?
They don't release characters every month, but like maybe like every 3 to 6 months they release a new character. But when they do release the character, they do not lock them out of ranked. So as soon as the character gets released, people can go right into ranked and just play them, and it's like in people's defense, is like, well, I played them all through the PBE, which is like the test server version of League. Because sometimes they release the characters maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before then or whatever, and it's like, bro, you not playing that character all that time where you can play them and rank on release. So I wish League would do that. Now that another major game is doing it, maybe League would do that too, like lock them out at least for a week, and then you can play them. So yeah, lock them out from ranked. You can play them in norms and everything like that. But yeah, continue. I'm sorry.
But no, I agree with you, because I had those same feelings in Overwatch. Like I never thought about this solution, and I'm glad that it's there now, because I'm that same way. Like when I play video games, especially multiplayer games, most games I don't just play for fun. If it's a competitive game that I like to actually try. I know I'm not the best. I know my skill ceiling. I'm just trying to get to my skill ceiling and see if I can go a little bit beyond it, right? And so when I play competitive, especially a game like Overwatch, I'm actually trying. And when people are like making a game bad for me, like that shit sucks. And it's not, and it makes it not fun to play. And you stuck into the game because you know you can't leave, or you can get a penalty, you can get banned. It's going to go on your rank, all that BS, right? And so most people just stick it out. I like that it's 5v5 now. Everything is a lot more controllable from every point of view. From if you're a support, you have way less people to heal, and every class has a passive now as well. So I have way less people to heal, and I can always count on my healer either healing me or the other people. But I don't need to get healed because healers after like 2 or 3 seconds, I forget, like their automatic regen starts healing you. If you get near objective, you start to get healed automatically. Or with any healer, I spam this with one of my characters. Once you use certain abilities, it initiates the heal. Like I play Moria, so if I need to start healing right away and I'm in bat, it works for me. I just fade away and I could dodge past CC and a whole bunch of shit, and I can get away good distance. And my momentum also carries my my jumps and shit like that, so I can get away and instantly start healing and can start doing like attacks and start healing, like, you know, healing my team from a distance. Same thing goes with DPS characters. All of them runs like faster. I think they got like a, compared to everybody else, like a 10% movement speed or some shit. And so characters like Soldier, who has a sprint button, that motherfucker is Sonic the Hedgehog when he's playing.
So I got a question for you, since you're playing like Overwatch 2, and it's sort of kind of like, I remember me and you had this debate a long time ago, and I actually switched jump sides to your side about it. And I remember Overwatch 1 came out. People were complaining that, you know, the aim assist is crazy and blah blah blah, and you know, if you want to be competitive, you have to take that. And I was like, yeah, you know, if they want to be in the competitive scene, they need to do stuff like that. I have now flipped. That was like 5 years ago or 5 or 6 years ago, when me and you first moved out here. We were playing Overwatch a lot. I remember when it first came out. I flipped on the other side now. I'm not super casual, but I am casual. But ever since like streaming culture blew up, everybody, like, you know, that has the time, they're becoming streamers or like trying to be pro players because, you know, that's where a lot of money is, and because like the pandemic happened, so a lot of people invested into streaming. So my question to you is, do you think, I'll just keep it to Overwatch 2, in the future, do you think Overwatch 2 should be balanced more towards the casual crowd, or should it be balanced more towards ranked? Because they don't have a competition or a league anymore. But do you think it should be balanced more towards like the hardcore ranked people?
First, the Overwatch League is still playing through. I watched some of the games.
It is? Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I heard they shut it down, but I thought we did.
I have another question actually, though. Doesn't Blizzard with Overwatch, don't they have two different balance?
Nope, it's the same thing all across.
It's the same across ranked and unranked. Okay,
they have something like they do have test servers like the PvE servers, Montrell, right? Mm-hmm. But they have a mode inside of the game called experimental. And so what that mode is, it's like it's a regular mode, regular like gameplay mode, and you have like the open queue and the roll queue, right? So if you don't know what that is, in Overwatch you have to play 1 tank, 2 DPS, 2 supports. In open queue, you can do whatever you want. It's just like when Overwatch first started, right? And they got that in both quick play and comp, which is dope, right?
Yeah.
But what experimental is that they do funky things to characters' ability, and sometimes if those abilities are good for the character based on the player base, they stick. And so I'm trying to think of one. Oh, Moria was one, for example, right? She was a character. She heals by just spraying fucking yellow juice on people. And she has this healing bar. And when that healing bar goes down, it regenerates over time. But for you to regenerate that healing bar faster, you could do damage, right? And so you can use your attack button. And she just uses purple tether and starts just draining your health. And that also powers up her healing thing, so you can get more heals, right? So you got to kind of be aggressive to heal, and like in Overwatch you need a shit ton of heals, so like you kind of, it's a balance between the two. one of her abilities is the fade ability, but the other one, like she has this orb where once you press it, like you press the button to activate, and then you can press your heal button, and it throws off this healing orb that starts bouncing around the room. Or the other one throws out a damage orb that fucking, of course, it bounces around, but it does damage to anyone that it hits, right? So with her, fuck, damn, I just brain farted.
Yeah. So the question was, do you think like Overwatch 2 going forward, should that be balanced around what the casual crowd, or should that be balanced around the pros?
Yes. So I'm gonna go right there, Montrell. But to answer Justin's questions with the experimental, so with her, they switched that ability. So like, what happens is that she had her, the ability was tied to two different. It was one ability, but it was like two different cooldowns at first. When they experimented with her, when you had one cooldown from the healing ball, then you had one cooldown from the damage ball, and that damage ball was kind of like a projectile. So it hits, and it also did like a cleansing, not a cleansing, but like a nullify on the other team, and it did dot damage. And after a while, they put it into the game. It lasted in a game, like the live servers, for like 2 weeks, and they took it out and just reverted her back to normal. And what they did instead, besides having a cooldown for both her abilities, it was just one cooldown for the ability, but depending on what ability, what orb you use, like the damage orb had like a 2 second longer cooldown. But yes, it's just one game. I mean, one update. I like they just. And DNF Duel is doing this with their newer update, and I hope they continue to do this. But with Overwatch, I just hope that they just make one update and make the game that you want to make, and make changes that you want to make. Because the problem with games in general, and this is all across the board, is that they don't have fun when it comes to updating the game. And Overwatch in the past, it was a mixture of listening to the community and listening to the pros, right? And the pros also had to realize they have to play with the community. So it was Overwatch as a community never had the button heads of all this game is
Apex.
Because on Overwatch, on the other hand, like it is literally the perfect rock paper scissors game when you have certain characters that and it's like a MOBA, right? Like when you play with one character, and when I play Paragon, right? If I'm playing Paragon and I have Shinbi and you had like a fucking Gideon or a Chimera, I'm about to fuck you up because I'm just doing the shit ton of dot damage. I got to build up my stacks and I'm killing you, especially if I'm building the tank and I'm building with mana. Like, you ain't doing shit. Like, certain characters have certain matchups in that game, right? Like, if someone has a Roadhog tank, the best characters to pick are brawler characters, right? So, like, a Reaper who can get in your face and just shoot you with shotguns. A Genji, right? He's great for diving into the back line and irritating and also finishing people, right? If you got a flying character, like a splash damage character, or a flying character like Pharah or Echo, someone who's in the sky, you get a hit scan character, get a soldier, a Ashe, a McCree, someone who has actual projectiles that can just knock you out the air, besides someone who's shooting beams and shit, right? So you pick characters and also healers to kind of counteract people, and I do that as a support all the time. I got multiple support characters that I play with. Like, if I see a Roadhog, I'm picking Ana, because with Ana, I know that I can sleep him easy because he's a big ass target, and then if he was trying to do his heals, I can throw my grenade, which heals my teams, but it does anti on everybody else, and they can't get healed. I wish that a Roadhog was trying to heal on me. Throw a grenade on him, you can't get healed. Everybody just target Roadhog. We took down their tank, and now we just got to worry about the healers and the DPS, and that's very easy. But I like that Overwatch don't update the game based on the streamers. I just want them to make the game and make the game as fun as possible, because if you make the game as fun as possible, you come with great creative shit, and Overwatch had a history of that. Like, every Overwatch meta was never determined by the players because they found shit out, but like it was because of like cheesy shit that they found out, right? Like the Ghost meta was just a matter of being an open queue, being able to pick any characters, and people just pick 3 tanks and 3 supports. And so you just had a shit ton of health and a shit ton of healing going around. And like, it just created these long battles, but it was very fun, especially with people who don't know about the meta, and you just roll through them. And then you have like the shield tank meta, where eventually Overwatch, they trying to they try to get out of the GOAT meta, and so they start updating shit to counteract that. And some of those updates create new metas, and it's so fun because no matter how frustrating Overwatch is, and it's like what y'all say with Apex, Overwatch is a very fun game to play because it's never the same game. It's always something new, especially when they do updates. And now they be doing constant updates. It's just always a different experience.
So that's one key thing. We're gonna talk about like Overwatch and the reason we're talking about Overwatch and we brought it up in the article I shared with Justin is because well, it's not balancing, but this is like, Overwatch is a multiplayer game. So I've been watching a lot of videos and like there's been a certain rumbling on the internet, especially on YouTube, especially when it comes to Apex and then obviously Halo Infinite and everything like that, where it's like, what happened to games being fun? And people, like I hate to harp on younger gamers, but like younger gamers, like, well, the game is fun, it's competitive and everything like that. And it's weird because like younger gamers want to be competitive now. When I remember they were first getting like the 10 and 13-year-olds when we were older, like they were first getting into the games, like the games were super casual because it was trying to appease to those kind of crowds. But now those kind of crowds are like, I want to be super fucking, the next fucking Tim the Tap Man and shit like that. And it's like now, like the older people, like gamers like us, we were like hardcore, but we created metas out of the fun that happened, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't mind a game like Overwatch or Halo 3, or for instance, or whatever. Like they have their competitive scenes, but the competitive scene got bred because it was just fun to play, and people were like, oh, we can tweak some of these settings and then we can make a competitive game out of it. And like that's cool to me. The problem I have with like a lot of online games, and I'm hoping this never happens to Overwatch too, and that's why I'm talking about it, is because I don't want the game to shift towards not being fun to being meta and being the most MLG pro fucking, oh my God, I gotta get FaZe. Who's the new FaZe player on the FaZe team, bro? Like, oh my God, they're on the Overwatch team. Like, that's kind of why I like how low key the league is for Overwatch, because I don't want it to get, I thought that was what the game needed like 2 or 3 years ago, but now I fucking hate leagues for games when they get really big, because they just become the meta. They become the game, and that's all the game is about. And it's like, I compared it to, say, like you're playing like and this doesn't really happen in Overwatch, but and it doesn't really happen in League, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't happen in Dota. But like other games, like it's like for us, for Apex, right? And I hope like Overwatch players never have to go through this. But we get matched up with like Predators, which is like the top fucking tier player, right? We get matched with Masters and Predators and all that shit like
every day.
Every day. And we're decent. And I've been doing some research, Justin. We are like,
I know,
like as far as decent players,
I've been seeing this too.
We're top decent players.
I actually think we're actually right. I think we're right below the
platinum players.
No, I think we might even be higher than that. Like I think we're like right below. No, I mean like not in terms of actual rank we've achieved, but what our skill level is.
Yeah, because like the average KD.
I think we're at the top. I think we're at the top of that middle tier of players. Like
yeah, because the average KD I found out for like middle tier players is like 0.3 to 0.5. My KD is 0.75. Your KD is like 0.93 or something like that.
0.9.
And 0.9, and then I think Jets is the same.
He's like 9.8, 0.98.
Yeah. So like we're like top mid tier players. Because people are like, well, you're almost hitting like diamond fucking shit or platinum or. I saw
people, dude. I saw people on Reddit, like diamond players saying like, bro, my KD's like 0.8. I'm like, what the fuck? What?
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, what are we doing wrong? Like, dude, we can't get out of gold every season. A, because we don't play enough, but B, dude, it's just like it's Smurf City in the low ranks in Apex.
So
like,
okay, and I think that's the difference between Overwatch ranking and most games, right? Is that with Overwatch, you are only playing against people within your skill range, and it's literally a range of that pool of players, and the only time that pool changes if you match or group with people lower to your rank, and so you get a larger pool of mixture of people to play between. but like
Mhm.
you're only playing with people in your pool.
Yeah.
So like if I'm dying, like I've been a platinum
Yeah,
player since
and
Overwatch, so I only play with platinum people. The only time I play with diamond people is if I'm platinum. Only time I play with gold people if I'm low diamond. I mean low
yeah,
platinum.
it's the same way with League of Legends. It's the same way with Dota, and like StarCraft and all that shit. Like they have their matchmaking because they have such intricate like matchmaking systems. Like that shit is like top tier. Whereas like Apex, and I just like I said, I just don't want people to go through this with Apex, where it's just like, I there was a Reddit thread that I tagged in our group, one of our group chats, and like people are saying the game is so fucking sweaty that it's hard for new players to get in, and once they get put in, they're just instantly getting destroyed because the game is just so fucking sweaty. And the reason why the game, and I remember first playing Apex, and it wasn't that sweaty. Like I remember when it first dropped, and we were playing it, and we were like, "Oh, this game
was like
really
wild."
Good.
It was like the Wild West, dude. It was wild and unkempt. You
You
didn't even like. It wasn't even about. I felt like it wasn't about tactics most of the time, dude. It was just like
it was just fucking fun. It was a fun ass game.
Right.
You had these characters. It was Overwatch.
It was like
PUBG.
an arena shooter that was a BR. Like that's
yeah.
What it
There
felt
you go.
like,
There you go. Yeah. And it was really cool. But now, like, you got all these streamers and YouTubers and everybody, Twitch TV bitches and all that shit like that. And it's like
the game, boys and girls, not just one sex guys.
No, I didn't mean like, I call it Twitch TV bitches, like bitches. Like that's what I
clarify for the people.
Yeah. I'm not talking about girls. I'm talking about everybody. Bitch is a gender neutral term for me. But yeah, like, we got all these people, and like the game's being structured around them, and then the Apex League and everything like that. And even like with Halo Infinite, they lost track of what Halo was. Like if you look at the developer diaries for Halo Infinite, they had pro teams in there. And it's like, they're like, we had pro teams in there and we wanted to blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
okay, so bro, I wasn't the only one feeling that way, bro. So I like Halo Infinite, right? It's a good game.
I like Halo Infinite too.
That much, but like I have these same issues you bringing up. I had that with Halo because when I think about Halo 3, I was like, fuck, bro, that game was just so fun to play. It was like a lot of shit to do. You just have randoms. And again, another reason why I cherish Overwatch, because when you go into rank, most of the times the queues are long, especially if you have DPS players. But I'm fine with that because they have where you can just go into workshop games and you can just do fun shit, and it's so fun. I'm
praying, DJ, that y'all never go down the route Apex, because Apex, the reason why their queues are so short, bro, is because they want people to just instantly jump in lobbies, because streamers been complaining about it. Well, what am I supposed to do on stream when I'm entertaining people, bro?
Overwatch saw all that shit. It was like, okay, DPS, y'all got long queues because everybody want to play DPS. But look, while y'all in the queue, here's workshop. Y'all can go in and play other games. You want to play team deathmatch while you play? You can do other shit while you wait for the game. And guess what? When the game is ready, we're going to pull you out that lobby and push you into the game.
The idea of Apex, like Respawn doing that with Apex, is like laughable to me. Like,
okay, so here's their solution, right?
Putting in that level of effort for their players to have fun. Oh no, God!
Justin, here's all they have to do, right? Y'all in the lobby, y'all waiting because y'all getting queued up with other players, right? Yeah. While y'all in that lobby, here's a team deathmatch lobby that anybody's just jump in and out, and y'all just have a team deathmatch game until you're ready for your game, and then y'all hop into your match.
Let us go to the fucking firing range and just like warm up or something.
He said go to the firing range. He's not trying to have fun. He's trying to train.
I mean, dude, if you want the game to be sweaty, I mean, maybe give people the option. You can go to the fucking training range or these like open deathmatch, fucking lobbies that you can just jump in and out of, and like nobody's winning or losing. You're just running around shooting other players,
Why don't they just like make the team deathmatch and all that shit, right? Won't they just beat Call of Duty to the punch and have an actual free to play everything shooter game, right? Because I feel like sooner or later,
might be doing it. There's a rumor that they're putting the Titanfall 2 maps into Apex. So
like it should just be multiplayer. Have the domination, have the fucking team deathmatch, your free for alls, have all that shit for free, and it's all in Apex.
Yeah, but dude, like it took them fucking 9 seasons to just put in arenas. Like they like the level they make it feel like putting a mode into the game is so fucking hard. Like I don't. It's like they have all. they have all these limited time modes that some of them are really fun that people really like, and they don't keep any of them. Like they just let them go. Like Gun Run is like really popular. People are really having fun with it, and it's just gone. You know, it's like fucking okay, man.
Fortnite did the same thing. They recently learned, like right when they was going to chapter 2 is when they start keeping modes in the game.
Yeah. Well, and then
it took them fucking 3 years to do no building to make that a permanent mode.
I know. Well, these games, I think the thing is with BR, right? Especially Fortnite actually is funny because it's 100 players versus 60. But the idea, like 100 players is a lot to have in a lobby, right? So if your player base isn't big enough, and you have too many queues, too many types of queues, the game will eventually suffer.
Warzone is 120.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
But I think that's something they're trying to be wary of, right? They don't want to have too many different queues in the game, and they dilute each of them to the point where the queue times are fucking horrible for everyone, you know, and every single one of them. But the thing is, Apex is popular enough where I don't think it matters right now. Like, fucking put the modes in the game. Just put the fucking modes in the game.
And that also brings more players to the game.
Fuck it, yeah. Fuck, dude. It's like I get it. I love the BR. I love Apex BR, dude, but it's like I do want something else, and Arena sucks. Like most people don't fucking even like arenas. It's not a fun mode, you know. So
to be honest, Justin, like, what's up with video game companies? Like, all right, people always complain about shit that video game companies do, but nobody never talk about throughout the years we've been paying basically more money. I'm fine with paying more money because I know the cost of development is getting up there, but we've been paying more money compared to like our $60 is more than like the $60 that was in the 90s, right? And then $100 for some games, right, in the 90s. But the content we got in that game was way fucking more. Like, and especially with these free-to-play games and microtransactions, y'all getting all this fucking money from us, and you telling me all I got is Battle Royale and Rank Battle Royale?
That's my point about Apex. I get so annoyed when everyone's like,
mode.
Oh, it's so hard for the devs. It's like, bro, you're a $2 billion game. Shut the fuck up. Like, money is not an object to you guys. Like, fucking, like, hire more people. Figure it out. Why is it so fucking hard? Why are we only getting a new map every 4 seasons? Why is that the cadence? Like, why is it something we just
make all this money
accepted?
And they just get comfortable?
That's my point. I've been saying this for multiple seasons now. I say this all the time. They are fucking an autopilot with Apex Legends. Like they have an assembly line formula that they have figured out. They have a map every 4 seasons. They have a new legend every 1 season, and then maybe something else in there like arenas every once in a while, every like 6 seasons, you know, and like that's it. That's the game. And then you do limited time modes. You do these stupid heirloom events that cost $160 for a fucking skin. Like, it drives me absolutely crazy that the community is actually satisfied with Apex because I love the core game, but as an experience, like as a game experience, it's fucking bad. It's terrible. Like they are successful in total spite of themselves. Like they are not doing anything, in my opinion, to make the game successful. The game is successful because it plays well. That's the only reason. I don't think there's and streamers play it. Like that's it. Those are the reasons. It's not because anything Respawn does on a season to season basis, in my opinion. Frankly, I think lately they've been making the game worse almost every season. This season is the first time in forever that I felt like the changes they made were positive, you know? Like, and I still feel that way right now, but there's certain things they've done where they took the Kraber headshot 1 shot away. That is a negative change to me. I don't give a shit what the community says. Everybody's a fucking bitch. Like that is a tool that lower level players had to beat people who are better than they are. And like me and Jet are good with snipers. We can hit headshots, and like that was a tool against people who are fucking way better than me, where I could knock one of them and give us a chance to win an engagement that we would normally just get annihilated, you know? And we don't have that anymore. Like, I don't have that. There's no method to do that anymore. It's now just, we just get steamrolled. Like,
that goes back to my point where I say that game developers don't update their game for fun. They do more nerfing. They do buffing.
Absolutely.
And right now, the only game that I'm seeing that's doing more buffing is fucking DNF Duel. Like, if you read through those patch notes, and especially if you know about the game, everybody got bust. Like, everybody's stronger. He's like, yes, let me do more wild shit. Because when I think about fun fight games, I think about shit like Marvel vs. Capcom, right? Just let me do crazy shit. And like, it doesn't matter if the game is broken, because guess what? The gamers love it like that. Like, you are able to do shit that you don't technically want us to do. Just make it fun. Let me fucking I hate nerfs, bro. I fucking hate nerfs because like I stopped playing games because of it, especially when it's drastic change. Like
it happened
Call
to
of
me,
Duty.
dude. With single player game, right? Grim Dawn, right, is an ARPG like Diablo style. That game was fucking Nerf City, man, and I love the game. The game is fucking incredible. But I got to the point where I was like literally waiting for them to stop supporting the game because every patch, it's like fucking 3 forum posts of nerfs, you know, of them nerfing shit, and it's like, bro, they're always like, oh well, fucking, it's our vision, you know, it's like, this is what we want, this is how we want to make the meta better, and it's like, I'm just like, dude, you know how upsetting it is to put like 50 hours or 100 hours into a character, and I'm not somebody following a guide, right? Like, I'm not following the guides that they're using to base their nerfs off of, where these people are like destroying the game and beating content they shouldn't be able to beat, you know? I'm not one of those people. I'm just using a build that uses some items and abilities from those builds. And then they nerf that shit into the ground and they break my character. And like, my character fucking sucks now, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I'm just like, it's like 50, 75, 100 hours just down the fucking toilet. That happened to me with Grim Dawn. And I just said, fuck it, dude. I can't, I don't want to do this. I'm not doing this. Like, I'm gonna wait until they are done with the game, which I think they are now. Like, they're done like patching the game, and I'll come back someday. Cause like, it's like so frustrating. It's super frustrating for that to happen. And I get it. Nerfing is a tool that developers have to balance their game, but I don't. In a single player game like Grim Dawn, though, I just find it a little frustrating that they are so stubborn about people being too powerful. It's like, I mean, who really cares, dude? Like, there's no trading in this game. There's no auction house. There's no player interaction really, almost at all. Like, what does it matter? What does it even matter if people are steamrolling the game? Like, isn't that the point? Like, I don't know.
Well,
so
have fun with the game.
Yeah, right. It got a little it got frustrating for me. So with multiplayer, obviously you do need a balance, right? Nerfs and buffs that need to happen for characters. However, I do think devs always err on the side of nerfs because they are afraid.
Nerfs
the thing
in the streaming community.
They're afraid of buffing because if they buff something too much and it takes over the meta, that will ruin the game for people, you know? I think that's what they're afraid of.
See, this is a problem, right? And this is what Call of Duty did recently, Warzone specifically, right? Because I be on and off that game. When they first come out, right, everything is like every gun is basically like super nerfed and people's dying fast. It feels good. It feels like you're playing the multiplayer Call of Duty, right? Because it doesn't feel like everything has an extremist amount of health. And then they start nerfing shit based on what the community and mainly the streamers are saying, right? And with me, I'm a shotgun player, right? I like to play shotguns in battle royales. The reason I like to play shotguns in battle royales because people like to hide, right? Especially in zones that has corridors and buildings, right? I like to run out with a shotgun because if you camping and I see you, I can just bop, 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 you dead, right? Don't worry about that shit. Your ass don't camp. You learned your fucking lesson. And I love Call of Duty because when you kill people, you hear them talking shit for 2 seconds. Like, you hear their mic before they actually die, right? But
that's proximity chat, doesn't it?
Yes, I like that they do that. Like you get to hear people complain, like, and they get mad. You hear them getting mad at me killing you.
Well, you know, that's funny about shotguns, you say, because I remember I saw a clip for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and somebody got killed with the shotgun. And he was like, "They should nerf shotguns." And I'm like, "Bro, shotguns are doing what they're supposed to do, which is kill you close range. Like, what do you want?
But
Don't get close to the person."
This is a funny thing, Montrell, because I had that moment in the first Warzone, right? Because I play shotgun because that map was nothing but fucking buildings, right? And it was dark buildings. And so I run and I used to tell people I run to the houses first. I got a fucking shotgun. I don't mind getting down because I know that if y'all run behind me, y'all killing all these motherfuckers. Like it's so funny because I laugh hard doing games. I would run in the building as I'm shooting. I'm like, baka baka, drop somebody, baka baka. two to three shots, they dead. And I have like the automatic shotguns, so I'm just shooting, pop, 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 and they just drop so fast. Then if I'm getting dropped, like my teammates are cleaning up because nobody has health, right? So you better kill me if you drop me. People complain about how strong shotguns is, and now I can't, like, it's like extra shots. Like it's like 4 shots just to down someone, 5 shots just to down someone, and that doesn't make no sense because now I'm halfway through the clip, and you know shotguns have a long fucking reload, and so now I'm like fucking spending 30 seconds to reload my gun just before I get back into action. And it is not like I'm running for SMG or something. I'm running for AR. So that's my close range gun. It's just, it fucks up the game.
Time to kill on a shotgun, generally speaking, in most shooters should be shorter than automatic weapons. Like you should kill them in 1 or 2 hits. Like
exactly.
I'd say 2 probably is probably fair, but
like,
yeah.
I don't know.
It's if Apex did that though, dude, it would be cancerous. So I don't know. I want to be careful with that, you know, because everybody would just play Octane and run at you and kill you, you know.
Like, well, Apex has shields and stuff like that, but even in Halo, like it was like 1 or 2 shots, and when you were like super close to somebody,
a headshot in Halo was a 1 shot. I think most shots.
Yeah,
I won a game solo with a shotgun. Me and Tori was playing one time, Montrell, and we was playing Reach. We was in that one outside level. I can't remember what it was, but like our whole team quit it, and it was just me and him. I had the shotgun. I was invisible, and I was just running through ranking them. Oh, we won the game. It was so funny, but like you can only do that in games where you have shit like that, when mechanics allows you to have fun. You don't nerf shit because the streamers doesn't like it.
But even in Apex, when you have a shotgun and you're super close, unless it's with the EVA 8 or whatever, like you can do a lot of damage close range. And that's why I run like a assault rifle, then I run the Peacekeeper. Like that's my go-to secondary weapon. But
beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
I am real good at the Mozambique.
Psycho, dude.
Look, somebody told me how you should play with it. A developer says why it got the name of the gun and why it's shaped the way it is. Because a Mozambique is basically an insta kill, and you're supposed to aim for the neck, 1 shot in the head, 2 in the chest, and that will be an insta kill for the Mozambique. And so if someone doesn't have any shields and you shoot in the neck, you should be able to kill them. And I tested it does work. And if you shoot at the neck for every person, you can down someone in like 3 shots, depending on the shields. But the Mozambique is a real fucking good gun, especially if you have all the attachments to it.
But so we're talking about all this, you know, streamers and then like Smurf City and all shit like that. So like usually like, you know, Justin does this part, but I'm gonna do it this time. Haha, Justin. But like so there's a big controversy going on with Overwatch, which I think is like the perfect fucking thing to do for games that have Smurfs or like hackers and stuff like that, which is the phone number thing.
I'm clapping my hands right now, Montreal. I agree with you.
Frustrating controversy. Yeah, I'm annoyed by this.
I think people should have like I don't mind submitting my phone number and then getting a text message for verification.
No, gamers are so short-sighted, bro. They're so fucking short-sighted.
You know that was funny.
And I understand the argument, right? The argument for prepaid phones, because I have a T-Mobile.
No, I understand why Blizzard did that too. Actually, go ahead though.
Yeah, but I have a T-Mobile phone, and apparently for Call of Duty Warzone, like I have the game, so I don't have to worry about that because I got Warzone through actual Call of Duty. But if you just got Warzone and you had like a T-Mobile phone, it wouldn't count your phone number because that's a prepaid phone. I didn't even know T-Mobile was prepaid. Like because I have T-Mobile and I think it's a really good service for the price you're getting and everything like that.
When did they become prepaid?
I don't know. Apparently it said in one of the notes, like somebody sent like a helper. You know how you communicate with the customer service, and they said Cricket, Metro, and T-Mobile. I didn't know T-Mobile was like prepaid. I don't think it is, but I guess it is. I don't know. But I like the fact that they can actually detect for Overwatch if you're using the IP phone, because you remember me and you were using the Google phone numbers for like getting jobs and stuff like that. So like I wouldn't give out my real phone number, I'd give out my Google phone number, and that would be like my business phone number you call. But like that they can detect which one's like an IP phone and then which one is an actual phone tied to an account. And I actually like that they're doing this, because this will I think negate the smurfing in games by like 50%. Free to play games.
No, more than that. Think about this, right? Let me spell it out like practically, right? Like think about this. You if you're forced to, with your Blizzard account, put your phone number in, and you have a phone. Let's just say you put your like real phone number in, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't accept, because they haven't been accepting prepaid phones, and say they don't accept the Google shit or any of those online services you can do, right? So it has to be a phone tied to like AT&T, Verizon, whoever, one of these providers. You put it in, and then you get, let's say you're a hacker and you get fucking banned, right? You get banned on that account, and you're like, fuck, I want to start a new account, but you need to put a phone number in. Where do you get another phone number? Like, okay, maybe you can use your family a few times, like, or something, because they're never gonna play the game. But there's a limit. There's a point where you're gonna hit a limit at some point where you can't do it anymore. Like, there's no option for you. You'd have to go get a new phone number from your fucking provider to do it, which is not worth it to play a fucking video game, So it's an actual serious deterrent that will work. Like, and I think, like, this is why I'm frustrated by this. I'm totally in support of Blizzard doing this, to be honest, because this is an epidemic in these fucking multiplayer games, dude. Like, I'm sorry. I was like seeing on Twitter, everybody's just like going in on Blizzard about this, and it's like, dude, like, you guys are being so fucking short-sighted about it. Like, they're trying to make your game experience actually better. I get it. It may seem like they're kind of being prejudiced towards certain types of people with the prepaid phone stuff, but think about it. If you do what I just said, if you allowed prepaid phones, you could just go to Walmart or the fucking corner store and buy a prepaid phone, and bang, you have a new account. I know it would cost you a little bit of money, but
it's so funny, like, Justin and Trills, because Warzone has been doing this since day one. I feel like this is an Activision game thing for free to play games. But when I signed, like, I never had to deal with it because like all my shit was already set up. I had 2-factor of my Blizzard account. But when I created another account, basically a Smurfing account to play Warzone, so I don't fuck up my stats on my main account, like, I had to create a new I had to attach a phone number to create that account. And I couldn't use I couldn't use any IP number, right? So I ended up using a number on my Apple Watch to create the account. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, this has been a thing with Warzone. So when this became a thing with Overwatch, people was complaining about it. And I'm like, bro, like, but you have to do that with Warzone though. Like, and Warzone is a bigger game. It's one of the biggest fucking games in the gaming industry, but nobody's complaining about Warzone.
This is where people are, I mean, they're ignorant, dude. They don't know. I didn't even, we didn't even know it. Let's like,
Yeah, I didn't know that either. Yeah.
But dude, this is the funny part. Blizzard, like, they went back on it today, right? They're like, okay, we're not going to require existing players to do this. However, new accounts will still require it. So the thing is, the Smurf problem is still solved. They still solved it while getting rid of the PR hit, So I think it's they won. Blizzard did Blizzard like figured out how to finagle this the right way, where they don't make people angry, but they still solve the Smurf problem, where it's going to be significantly reduced, dude. It's like, bro, you're only going to have a few opportunities to make a Smurf account, and
especially in a game like Overwatch, because like it's not like Call of Duty, right? You can. Like, no one makes Smurfs accounts of Call of Duty because they don't actually have rank modes, right? But in a game like League of Legends, in a game like Overwatch, in a game like Dota, any fighting game, things of that nature, this is the best way to combat Smurfs. Make them put their real number down, because if they fuck up, what you going to do? Your account is banned. You can't do anything else. Then if your account is banned, you can never play that game again. Maybe you could play the next game. When are you going to make a next game, especially when you're talking about free-to-play games?
Right.
So,
yeah. Yeah, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Overwatch 1 wasn't free to play, right?
Nope.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It was super cheap on PC. You can get it for like $12.
Yeah, but like I feel like that paywall negated a lot of hackers from coming in. And I don't think the Overwatch community knows what, like, to be honest, y'all kind of been gated, right?
That's a fair point.
Y'all kind of been gated because y'all didn't have to. I mean, if you play Warzone, then you understand the hacker problem. That was there.
Sort of like this. It had hackers, but it wasn't like it was hackers when you come to expect from, like, you know, back in the day when you used to play games and you like every once in a while you may see one and you hear
exactly
one. But like now that it's free to play, I'm expecting to see a lot more like fucking aim bots. Like every once in a while I see aim bots, but like now I'm expecting them to see it on the level when I play a game like Warzone or Apex, where like almost every game I may have a hacker that's using raw hacks or aim hacks. Like
and that's what I don't want for the Overwatch 2 community.
It's going to be there, Montrell. It's free to play.
but my thing is, this phone number thing would deter that, because a hacker, say a hacker gets,
as long as they're banning people, as long as they're actually banning hackers,
as long as they're actually banning people,
it will work. Yes.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the Overwatch community, like reading those comments, like Justin said, I was like, wow, like you guys have been. Not you guys, but like the Overwatch community doesn't know, for good reason, and I'm glad y'all didn't have to deal with this, how bad the hacking problem in these video games are. Like it's really bad. Like not so much in like League, because they have their shit on like some weird lockdown.
They got kernel access to play their game. You got to give them kernel access to your PC.
Yeah. So but even like Valorant, for some reason, like people still fucking hacking that, but it's not as prevalent as it is in like Apex and Warzone and shit like that. And like my thing is like, yeah, y'all been the Overwatch community has been like gated because of that $20 paywall, that $40 paywall, $35, $25 paywall. Like that has been there. And even like when me and Justin were playing PUBG before it went free to play, we saw hackers in there, but we kind of chopped that up to us being trash. We were legitimately bad at fucking
No,
PUBG.
I mean, there were a lot of hackers in PUBG, though. The funny part about PUBG is that game did have a paywall. It was $30, but that price, that game being $30 was a low enough barrier that people probably went to third-party sites to buy keys. They would probably get it for like $10 or something.
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't much of a barrier.
People make Smurf accounts in Overwatch. They just go to CD. They just go to a key website and they'll just get it for like $5 and...
Yeah. Well, yeah, but could you do that? Because can you play Overwatch on Steam?
No, well, you don't play on Steam, but you can get the key, and like it's a key for Battle Pass. I mean,
Battle.net. Oh, it actually. So they actually did that. Okay, interesting.
That's how I got Overwatch on PC. Like I just spent $20, and then when I made my second account, I had to spend like another $20 to get the game. It wasn't 20, it's like 17 or whatever, but whatever. You spend about $20 to get the game, and that's how you get new accounts. Now I could just create a brand new one, which makes sense. Like put fucking a block on there, because if I'm just creating a new account and I'm not buying into it, right? Like make me verify who I am. That's again a smart thing to do. Because like you said, I'm not paying for it, Justin. It's not a premium game. It's a free-to-play game to combat the cheaters. And, you know, there's a cheater issue.
Well, also, dude, I think this is another thing that gamers are like, this is kind of an entitlement thing to me, is I know we're paying customers and we're playing a product. Like, this is a product that they're trying to sell and make money on. However, that does not give us the right to fuck their game up, you know? Like, that's not... We don't get to just do whatever we want with a game. Like it's their property, you know? Like... It's like you're fucking with their house, you know, like they're fucking like that's would be the equivalent. So, I mean, mods are one thing that's like a sanctioned thing in a lot of games, but like hacking is you are fucking with a game, you know, and you're ruining the experience for other people too. And I don't know, we've talked about this in our Discord a lot, where it's like I'd almost wish we'd go a step further, because like South Korea, dude, they are like hardcore over there, bro. To play games,
like your
you have to put your
like
you have to put your fucking social in, like to play games and tie it to your account. Like, so if you fuck up over there, you done, dude. You're done. Like you're done. It's like, so you like I personally I don't like. I know people would hate this. They really would hate this kind of thing. But dude, like putting your social in your having to tie that to your account, like, would solve the problem. Like the hacker problem would be gone. There'd be no Smurfs anymore. The hacker problem would be gone. You don't get another social, so fuck you. Like, go ahead, hack, but you're not gonna play the game anymore if you fucking get banned. You know, you get one account. That's it. You know,
I agree. And I agree with that. It's just the games, like Apex and stuff like that. Like especially the mass exodus of fucking Warzone that happened like a year or two ago.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh my god.
like when that
That's
mass
when it
exodus,
got worse. That is really
yeah,
legitimately when it got worse. Yeah.
yeah, when that exodus happened, because I think they introduced the kernel level, like fucking,
No, they
uh,
didn't. They still fucking use Ricochet.
oh, they still use
Yeah.
it was kind of mass exodus that happened, and people just left
No,
Warzone.
what happened was that they actually banned people.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened that day. It was like
Oh,
50,000 one day, another 50,000, 60,000. They actually banned people. Besides, like doing
So
the
they
obvious
got
bans,
mad.
they got everybody.
They either got mad and went to a different game, or they got sad because they're like, "Fuck, man, I lost all my skins, bro. I gotta go. Like, I gotta do that."
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah,
well,
so
you shouldn't have hacked, bitch. Like,
yeah,
fuck off.
and
Like,
then
I have no sympathy for you at all. Like,
yeah, and when that happened, it was like, and then on top of that, the pandemic happened too.
yeah.
So like, it was like the perfect storm because like, you know, more streamers started to like look for other games to play. They had more time, and then they found Apex, and it's like, I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it was really bad. It's still bad. But now it's like, I think we were running into more so Smurfs than hackers. But
It's Smurfs right now is the bigger problem. Yeah.
yeah, Smurfs are bigger than right now. But before the Smurf issue that was happening, it was like Hacker City, bro. Like, we were like, bro,
fucking
we were
Preds are coming
seeing
in
crazy
trying to play
shit,
bronze players. Like, fucking
yeah, we were seeing
losers.
people fly, DJ. Like, people were flying, like legitimately flying across the. We're like, yo, what is going? They're triple jumping with Octane's jump pad. They're like, it was just crazy.
I saw some really bad aimbots actually along like earlier on in our time playing Apex. It's just funny as hell. Like, they're not even hiding it. They're not even using
that one guy, the charge rifle.
I hate it when you don't hide it. That pisses me off. It's like you're even trying to not get
the audacity to even like. But dude, no, you know what the funny part about that is though? Their account level would be like 100. I'm like Respawn, what are you guys doing over there, bro? Like, it's so obvious. You watch 2 seconds of this guy's gameplay, he's got an aimbot. Like,
it was one match we were watching. I remember this a long time ago. This was old World's End when they had sorting. Remember that guy was standing on top of the sorting factory with the charge rifle and literally just pointing and shooting at people from across the map.
Oh, I remember that clip because one of y'all posted it on a Discord. Yeah, that's wild.
Well, it was the same. The one I'm thinking of was the same area. It was sorting. Was a Pathfinder, bro. This guy, there was like 10 squads left, and the circle was like closing. It was like the late game circle. This motherfucker killed like every squad solo. Like three he killed like 5 squads in a row because he's fucking aimbotting. You know, just snap dead, snap dead, snap dead. He wasn't even. He was like grappling through the air, killing people like from from full health to 0, like in the middle of the grapple. Like,
hey man, he's the main character. He's a protagonist.
I was like, dude, like you're being so obvious with it. Like, how do you have a level 100 account? Like, what?
So yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about that, because I feel like I like what Blizzard's doing right now. I like how they're I mean, I talk shit about Overwatch, but the reason I talk shit about Overwatch is because they did, in my opinion, they kind of balanced it around like the pro players for a little while, and that's when I stopped playing. But then, according to you, they kind of went back and was like, "Okay, we're just going to do it for the community."
Montrell, I mean, I don't know. We've been talking about playing another game because we're all so tired of Apex.
I think we would be perfect for Overwatch.
I'll download it. I'll fucking download it.
With the game being 5v5, it is probably one of the best team games to play because as long as this game really depends on you playing as a fucking team. It's basic. It's you know how people was comparing Overwatch to a MOBA in the day, which technically it is a MOBA because it's a battle arena multiplayer game. But
it is, yeah.
But like now, it's like even in the past, it was really like a MOBA, but with it being 5 characters, it is now really a fucking MOBA because it's one of those games that just like a MOBA, if your team is not playing well, you are losing. Like your team has to get it together. Y'all can get it together in the late game. Y'all can be together the whole game. But if y'all not playing as a team and y'all just like doing solo shit, like it's not going to work. Like you have to play. And like now, since it's one tank, the tank is so fucking hard to kill. And and it makes it harder to kill because he has more heals, and so the tank could be as aggressive as possible. Then if your tank is not getting heals and your DPS is basically firing the tank like they doing their jobs, or they picking off the healers, so they have the healers, like the team has less heals, so y'all can pick off the tank and up the DPS faster. Like you have to be strategic and play as a team and do fucking teamwork to win and to succeed in Overwatch. And that shit is so fun. And it's so fun playing a multiplayer game like that, because once you start doing good, you see it happen in real time. Like you get instant feedback. You see when you're doing bad. You see when you're doing good. And
I think I'm thinking about it.
Why not just try it?
I'm just thinking about it because I'm so sick of Apex with the way it, like, dude, Apex, when you're playing against 57 other people, or 58 if you're playing duos, other people that are equally skilled with you, with your team,
it's just the funnest game.
It's the best fucking experience I've ever had in a shooter. Like, it is so, but we almost never have it. It almost never happens, dude. Like, it is so rare. It's like a fucking unicorn. And because of the state of this game, like the Smurf situation, dude, every time we die, there's one guy on the enemy squad that's level 39, 50 or below. Yeah, seriously. And they're the one that has 1,800 damage and 7 kills, and their 2 teammates have like 200 and a kill. You know, it's like, and that to me it's ruining the game. And if a company like Blizzard will take it seriously, take this thing seriously, like fucking get rid of hackers, deal with Smurfs in some way, I'll play your game, dude, because I'm gonna get a pure, actual, fun experience the way that you intend. You know, it's like,
well, to me, in my opinion, right? I really never really seen the Overwatch community complain about that. But to me, for them to get ahead of it with this phone number thing, I think speaks volumes. Like, they've been watching and they're like, okay, we seen what happened with Warzone.
They're probably playing Apex and Warzone, like in the office. Yeah. Like, they have people playing these games and they're like, this is a fucking joke, dude. Like, this is horrific. We don't want our game in this state.
Exactly. Like, because this is a common free to play thing. Like, how do you combat the hackers that just keep fucking coming back? So, I mean, I think the reason why in like League and Valorant, because those developers, they play the games, they watch streams, they watch all that shit. And the community itself, even though it's toxic as fuck, you can talk about them in Dota as well. You can talk about them all they want, how toxic they are, but we police ourselves very well. And you're like, oh, you're scripting, bro? Oh, we're about to report the fuck out of you. Like, you're definitely 100% scripting. And they'll get streamers out of there and all that stuff. People who are cheating, they'll get it out of there. And I feel like Overwatch has a strong community is like that as well. And I want y'all to remain strong as well. And I think Blizzard wants it to remain strong. And I just think this is a really good solution to a lot of problems. So that's all I really wanted to talk about. I know, Justin, you haven't talked about the games you played, right? Or you did?
No,
right?
I did. But we've been going forever though. We need to get into the news. Like, we go.
Yeah.
So let's do that. So we only have a few stories to get through, but let's start with an update from last week. We talked about Stadia shutting down, and there's actually some interesting fallout from this. So apparently Google, you know, they don't really give a fuck about anybody because they're huge. So they didn't tell anybody that this was happening, including the dev team for Stadia, that it was shutting down. And this includes the partners that they worked with that actually had games on the platform, like Bungie with Destiny, Ubisoft with some of their live service games. So these companies are now fucking scrambling because they have players on Stadia that are only on Stadia, and they don't have a way to get them off. Like, they don't have a way to get their characters off or their accounts off. So this is from Forbes, but this was reported in multiple places. So they both announced, like Bungie and Ubisoft have both announced that they are working on ways to get these accounts off of these services and get them like a PC code or something. Like, Ubisoft's like going to the point that where they're literally thinking about giving these players the game on PC for free to keep them playing the game, which is hilarious. So like the most greedy companies imaginable are like scrambling right now for this to keep these players. So it's interesting, but I mean, what do you guys think about that? Like this is kind of I feel like an almost unprecedented thing in games. I don't think we've seen this kind of thing before.
First of all, like, to just shut down Stadia like that is kind of weird to me. Like, I feel like they should have announced it, like, we're gonna shut down everything next year or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But to just shut it down and be like, oh well, you guys get your games back, and then like leave it up to the developers and the publishers and all that shit. No matter how much I hate EA or whoever, or whatever the case, that's pretty shitty to do, and that's a huge situation, a really bad situation to be in my opinion.
Yeah,
I 100% agree. And I always go back to this game because it's my fucking favorite video game ever, Paragon. They let people know, and it was crazy because they let you know 4 months before the game was shutting down. Right, it was because of Fortnite. But like during that whole time, when they announced the shutdown, just like Google, they refunded everybody. If you have money in the game, you can request to get a refund. If you don't request to get a refund, that's your fault. But during that time, like I knew it was shutting down. I'm mad because now that I look back on it, I should have been playing more, but I didn't. But lucky we got another game coming out. But like that gave me the option to, besides like, hey, I can't play my game anymore. I had time to like, not play it. But like that's honestly just disgusting. That's like going into work and you just finding out that everybody's fired or your company's shut down.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think there's much more to say about this than that, but it is an interesting follow up to Stadia closing. So I'm sure they'll get it figured out. I mean, they have time. They have 4 months till January, so we shall see what comes of that. All right, let's move on. This was an interesting report this week. So a site called, a site called MP First is reporting. They reported this over the weekend that they are hearing rumors that a Horizon Zero Dawn remake / remaster is in the works, and what they said made it sound very similar to what they did with The Last of Us Part 1, where it's a graphical upgrade, 4K upgrade, and accessibility upgrade, where they will add a ton of accessibility options. So this was very interesting news to read because, I don't know. So let's just get into it. What do you guys think of this? Do you think this is justified?
You can go first, Montrell. You want to go first?
No, you can go first. Go ahead.
It's tough, to be honest. Like, all right, so I know y'all have your thing about updates and everything, and I have my thing, right? I'm a little bit softer than y'all, but still stuff like this is not acceptable. Where I think of remakes and remasters, right? To me, is no specific time period, right? Because throughout all my life, ever since I've been playing games has always been remakes and remasters. They just never called it that, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if I'm expecting a remake, right, I'm not expecting a game, especially now in this current generation of consoles. We are on the 8th and the 9th, right? So that we're on the 9th. So with this current generation of consoles, we should not be. Why do we need a remaster to a PS4 game? Like, and then on top of that, you're gonna resell it to me and things like that. You're like, just because they even
is this gonna be $70 the way The Last of Us Part 1 was?
And they did it with Spider-Man, right? Like, I don't understand games in the PS5 generation getting remasters, right? Last of Us, I understand that's a PS3 game technically. Yes, they had a remaster for the PS4, but that remaster was the typical remaster that we see when it's basically just a port and it has the better.
This was a ground up. That was a ground up. This was a more ground up remake.
And I can appreciate this. So if you're going to remaster an older game, you do the Last of Us treatment, right? And it was some other game that did it recently. Oh, Demon Souls, right? The Demon Souls treatment. Yes. Like if it's an older game, these are the type of remasters I like, and it's the same thing that I advocate. And like Crash Bandicoot did it as well, right?
Yeah,
but they changed the gameplay. It's slightly off, right? But like those are the remasters the remasters that I advocate for. Like they can be older, and you just making those good games more accessible for newer audience and give it a fresh coat of paint. Horizon doesn't need that. Horizon doesn't need it just needs a fucking patch.
This game looks good. Yeah, right. This is a PS5 upgrade game,
just
bro.
Make it a PS5 upgrade. That's all it needs. Like, it shouldn't be a new box copy thing.
Right? No, that would be crazy if they go ahead, Montrell. Go ahead.
I agree with everything y'all said. Thing I want to talk about, or the thing I knew this was coming, but I didn't know how it was coming. And I remember this fucking podcast is actually a good archive. Because you remember, Justin, when the PS5 fucking first launched, or it was first announced, and they said this, they're like, we're not going to be doing the same thing Xbox is doing. We're not going to be upgrading games for free. We may do it for like 1 or 2 games. They did it for like 1 game or 2 games, like when the PS5 first launched. But that was
Horizon Forbidden West. That was the game where they tried to force people to pay $10 extra, and then people got upset and they went back on it. Remember that? And then God of War, though, they're like, anything going forward, we're not doing this free upgrade shit with PS4.
Yeah,
right.
And I think this is one of the games that will be like a free upgrade, right? That should be free upgrade. Because this game is only like 6 years old.
Not even. It's about
5 years old. It came out the same fucking year as the Switch.
Yes, so it was right before Breath of the Wild came out, like literally 2 weeks before. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
damn, it was 2017.
I remember that year because I got fucking RPG fatigue. I played Tales of Berseria, I believe, that one time. Then I played this, and I played Mass Effect, and I played Nier Automata. It was just so much RPGs.
Yeah, 2017 was insane.
Yeah. So, I just don't think like this game should be remastered. I think it should be remastered. I think it should be a free upgrade. Now, if you want to charge me $5 for the upgrade, $10, I'm not going above 20. Like, don't charge me $20.
Don't charge shit. Don't charge anything. This is not a game.
Because nobody asked for it.
Why are you double dipping on a game you released 5 years ago, bro? Like The Last of Us. Again, I'm on DJ's. I'm more on DJ's end with this. I don't think it should have cost $70. I think they were way too. I think that was way too high. It should be more 40 or 50 probably, but I think they were still justified in charging what they did there with what they did with the game there. But
what my thing about The Last of Us, me and DJ was arguing about it, or we weren't really arguing, we were debating about it. Yeah,
we from Detroit. We say everything's arguing.
Yeah, we was debating about it in the group chat. But like, I agree with y'all. Like, it's a remaster or a remake, but it wasn't like a full remake. In my opinion, like, they didn't like remake they said they make it from the ground up, but they didn't redo the combat.
I call it a modern remake when you updating the game to fit modern standards.
Yeah,
it's a remaster, but you updating it to fit our current standards.
And I would have been cool with like $50 or $40 for it. I don't think it was. And the reason I had an issue with it was because I'm like, wow, the Last of Us remaster is on the PS4, and you can easily play that on the PS5 right now. And I also understand that, you know, newer players, because they heard The Last of Us 2, they got the show coming out. It's like to prepare them and everything of that nature. My biggest thing was I was thinking about the future, and I'm like, this is going to set a terrible precedence for future Sony titles.
I think Sony's going to be doing this with a lot of stuff.
And I said it's in our group chat, Montrell. They are doing WMDs. Where Nintendo decisions. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, that's what's happened. They are literally doing what Nintendo's been doing to us since 1990 motherfucking 6.
Yeah, and you're right. And to be honest, looking at the history, like even Spider-Man started this, right? The Spider-Man remastered for PS5.
Let's just update the face, like nothing else, right? Not the model, the face.
Let's make it look more like what's his fucking name? Tom
Holland.
Yeah, Tom Holland. So like
that's like, hey, that could have been DLC.
That was weird, man. That was fucking weird, dude.
That was weird.
The reason behind it was because the update in the face, because like to actually match the character.
They wanted to match the voice actor, but the face, like, it like looked worse than the original face. Like, I don't know.
It's so funny because both faces I had the same reaction when I first saw the original Peter and playing through. I was like, this looks weird. I don't like it. But as I was playing through the game, I was like, I like this. This fits him. And it was the same way for this one. I didn't like it at first until halfway through the game. I was like, okay, it's fine.
And I played the remastered Spider-Man first. So like I played Miles Morales first. That was my first introduction to Spider-Man, and then I played the original Spider-Man, remastered or whatever. So it didn't look weird to me because I didn't see the original Spider-Man, but it was just weird when I saw it. The comparisons, I'm like, yo, like what's going on here? Yeah, like but yeah. So like I can't remember how much the remastered cost for Spider-Man. I think it only cost me like $20 actually, because I got the Miles Morales collection.
Yeah, it was included for $20 if you bought
yeah,
it.
I forgot about that's how I got it. I was about to say, how did I get that edition? I forgot it was part of that.
And I remember the controversy then because I think you had to pay full price if you didn't have Miles Morales or something like that.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and it got kind of slipped under the radar because most people.
Well, it was digital
Miles
only.
Morales.
It was digital only. There was no physical version of it, I don't think.
Yep, exactly. So, and it was like a weird thing too, where you had to reserve it. If you reserve, like, because I got the PS5 Miles Morales bundle edition or whatever, and if you reserve Miles Morales, it was some weird crap going on with that. But yeah, so I don't know, like. I think from here on out, like, I don't want people to. It's kind of hard to say, like, I don't want people to buy this game because people worked on it and they worked on the game and whatever. But it's like, if y'all keep doing this, like,
yeah, but what's next? They're gonna do it with God of War. They're gonna do it with like, I mean, Ghost of Tsushima has an update already, but like God of War, I guess, like, let's go further back. Like, God forbid they do Bloodborne. You know, actually.
Oh man, they would never do fucking.
But they're never doing that, bro.
Give me that. Give me that Demon Souls treatment of Bloodborne.
Yeah, but
they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that.
But dude, like, yeah, where does it end though? Like, this is a trend that I'm not really gonna. I can't really get behind. You know, or like Uncharted 4, you're gonna do that one. You know, it's like, come on, man. Like, at a certain point, these games look good enough already. You're not gonna make them look that much better.
Hey, know? Justin, they're gonna remaster Last of Us one more time, and this time it's gonna be. Like, it's going to be this is good. Part 3 is going to come out, right?
This time. They're going to do part 3 this time.
Yeah. Look, this is exactly what they're going to do. They're going to do part 3, right? And then after part 3, like literally a year after, besides doing the Game of the Year edition, it's going to be the complete edition of Last of Us Part 1, 2, and 3.
Oh my god!
But like, this is going to be the name of it, right? It's going to be the chronological edition, and that's when you actually play through the whole storyline in order. Because Last of Us 3. I know it's going to have some shit that happens before Last of Us 1, so you're going to play through all of that shit in chronological order, and that's the game.
You know, I'm gonna take
$70 for it.
I'm gonna take it a step further, y'all. I'm gonna take it a step further.
They're taking a page out of Square Enix's book at that point,
and on
dude.
top of that, they're gonna have a mode when you can just watch it as a movie.
No, I mean, dude. Well, Square Enix has done this shit with Kingdom Hearts for years, though, dude. Where they release 1.5, 2.5, and then there's like then there's the 1.5 plus 2.5 that's $60. Then they release a version that had all of it together, and then they release a version with Kingdom Hearts 3 in there too, and then they release a version with Kingdom Hearts 3 plus the DLC. They're all $60 though. You know, so Square, this is well trodden ground for Square Enix. So, you know.
Oh yeah. But I'll take it a step further. They're going to do all that what DJ said, right? But in the remastered version, the remastered chronological version, God forbid, or not God forbid, let's say the HBO special is just a fucking smash hit, right? It's like the best thing since sliced bread. It's like Walking Dead good. It's I think
it might be.
I feel like it is, especially like this is going to be the next big zombie show.
That trailer was good, dude. That trailer was good.
So say like they do that, right? They're gonna put the models of the actors.
Oh, you already know.
No.
That's going to be the draw to the chronological edition, right? That's the draw. They was like, look, at the very end, the stinger, they're going to show the Walking Dead like TV show, or they're going to show like they're going to like animate a scene from the TV show, but it's going to be the Joe and Ellie face models from the TV show. Like, you can play as what's his name? Oscar Robinson. That's not Oscar Robinson. What's his name? Pedro Pascal Joe.
I'll be so upset, dude. Like that.
Yeah. Like this could be the remastered version, and you can't.
There's no option to do the old faces.
Oh shit!
Peter Parker them, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Oh man,
Last of Us HBO edition. Play through all 3 games with Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, they're gonna do that. It's gonna be 2 different versions. It's gonna be the HBO version, and this is gonna be the regular version.
The HBO version will be $10 more.
It is gonna have like more DLC.
HBO edition.
And you get HBO Max for free for a year.
Oh my god, dude. Oh jeez.
Stop. We give it. It's like it's the one lonely solely developer like listen to a random
podcast. These motherfuckers know.
He's like, yo, this is a good idea. I'll say this to my boss.
Man. So, yeah, let's stop before we give them too many other good ideas. Goddamn. Well, I think the consensus here is that Horizon Zero Dawn remake is not. There's no purpose to it. Don't do it, Sony.
Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 remake.
I'm praying, dude. I am praying that this is just a remaster, like just a PS5 remaster. That I'm praying for that, but I don't know. I don't really trust Sony right now. So, okay, let's move on. We're talking about TV shows. Let's talk about a movie. We haven't talked about this at all, but Nintendo today had a little direct. Wappa! They had a direct for the Super Mario Bros. Movie official teaser trailer, and what'd you guys think?
I'm not gonna lie, my guy. I watched it at work.
I loved it, bro.
Trell, give me your initial reactions when you first saw the trailer. What was going through your mind?
First I was skeptical, and then once Bowser went up to the ice castle and he talked to the King Penguin guy, I was sold. I actually liked it. I think they're doing the
when the penguins popped up, I went sold. Yes, man. Justin, that's a deep cut, man. The penguins are a deep cut. That's like Nintendo. That's like Mario 64. You know, like come on, man. Like
I was the same way. It was one of those things, right? I see the trailer. Yeah. Browser coming in. I see the Ice Kingdom. I'm like, what the fuck is this, right? But like,
I know, me too. I'm like, what the fuck could this possibly be?
In my head, what I'm thinking is like the world map was like, oh shit, what if this this is Browser taking over we seeing how he taking over the whatever kingdoms, right? But then the penguins showed up. I'm like, oh shit, they look good. Then they threw the snowballs. He was like, he was throwing the snowballs. I'm sorry. It's so funny because that's just part. When I see video game shits in movies, it's like the funniest shit ever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just thought it was. I thought it was the right tone though. Everything that happened, like it felt like a good fit for Mario, shit. Right?
Dude, the little dry bones reaction, like Jet Black as Browser is perfect, man. Like it sounds nice. Keegan, Mike, and Key at Toad at the end. It sounds nice. It looks nice. I'm excited for this. Like this dry bones. This little Koopa scare. Oh, this is cute, man. I can't wait for this movie.
Dude, Charlie Day as Luigi is like perfect casting too, man.
I didn't hear his voice. Like I heard
he didn't speak. They teased it though. They teased it. They're holding it back for the next trailer, dude.
Yeah, I don't like Chris Pratt as Mario. I'm sorry. Like he sounds like Lego Movie Chris Pratt, and it's just,
I thought it was fine. I don't think it's terrible. Like I mean, honestly, I couldn't even really tell it's Chris Pratt. It doesn't really sound like him, in my opinion. But
it sounds like Chris Pratt animated voice. See, this is a problem with like actual these type like movie voice actors is that they don't know how to adjust and pitch and all that bullshit to their voice. An actual voice actor would try to make a Mario voice and make it make sense for Mario. This just literally sounds like Chris Pratt doing his animated Chris Pratt voice. If you watch the Lego movie, if you watch Onward, it's literally the same fucking voice. It's nothing different. It's just like when you see The Rock animate. I mean, talking an animated picture of Kevin Hart. It's like them, but like animated. It's nothing different, and that's what I get for Chris Pratt. He has his animated voice is completely different than his actual voice, right? And like how he delivered in live action film,
Guardians or something new.
Yeah, the problem is that his animated voice has the same delivery, and it's like I can't not hear Chris Pratt when I see his voice. I can't get lost in the voice as if it was like Keith Sutherland as fucking Solid Snake, right? Oh. I don't fucking like. You told me that was him. It blew my fucking mind. I was like, damn, like, really? It's the same thing.
Man, all I heard was Kiefer Sutherland, dude. That took me out of the game, bro. I hated that.
And I fucking loved it.
You talking about for Snake?
Yeah.
All I heard was Keith Sutherland.
Dude, I did not.
That's all I heard. I hated that decision. David Hayter is Snake, bro. That he always was Snake. I don't know why they did that shit.
Oh, Mark Hamill is a perfect example. Like when he do different voices, it's all different, right?
He's a good voice actor though. That's like the difference though. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, right? Is that like you have some actors, actual actors who are good voice actors, but they only casting for the big roles, and that's the sucky part because Chris Pratt is not a good. He's not a bad voice actor, but they could have got a better one because the problem is that it's just Chris Pratt. It's not Chris Pratt trying to like get the feel of Mario, and that's what makes some voice actors great is that they get the feel of that.
I understand what you're saying. But I think in this context, like in this trailer, I think the voice for Mario here is fine. Like trying to do the game version of Mario in a movie is not going to work in a movie.
I don't need a game version because it's not the game version of browser, and I like it.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying in the chat too. Like I said, I didn't mind it, but I see where they're going in direction with it, and I don't mind the direction they're going with it. I just think they need to lean. He needs to lean more into like the accent more or whatever. He doesn't have to be like full blown.
Cartoony with it.
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be full blown like stereotypical Italian, but he can be like more American. I don't need to
Italian. Have him talking like this and have
I don't need.
I don't need that. I don't need you trying to be like, what's your imitation? Because that's how we got Mario. It was the dude who voiced Mario. It was just him giving his own imitation to Mario, and that stuck to his white peas and all that voices, right? That's because that was how he thought Mario was talk. I need you to do that same thing. We know he doesn't have a voice. How do you think he talks? Like with what you know about him?
Just talk like a fucking inner city plumber dude.
Talk like a New Yorker. Why he don't talk like this? Yeah, I don't know. Is he from Boston?
I think that's what he's going for, though. It's this very slight hint of an attempt at a New York accent.
I'm watching the trailer again until it gets to that part. I'm trying to hear it because,
there's not enough dialogue to really tell, in my opinion. Like listening to the same line over and over again, it'll just burn your brain. So I need another trailer probably to really get a feel
I actually
don't.
I don't mind it. When I first heard it, I was like, whatever. But like, I just gotta say though, y'all. Parks and Rec is the best casting because we have the dude from Parks and Rec who was my man's best friend. He's playing Sonic, and now Chris Pratt, who was Andy Dwyer in Parks and Rec, is now Mario. So I'm just saying that's probably signs that it's one of the best shows ever. So just letting y'all know that.
Yeah. Well,
dude, I'm sorry. I'm listening to it, and he literally sounds like the dude from the Lego movie. I'm sorry. I can't. When I hear the voice, I'm like, damn. This. And when he said that, what is this place? I'm sorry, because the Lego movie kind of started like this. He's basically being isekai. He's just like, what's going on? He got the confusing. What is this? No, bro. I'm sorry. I'll probably change my tone when I see the movie, but right now it sounds like Lego Movie Mario.
Well, I'm glad they are keeping it canon though, because I think isn't that like in the first booklet of the very first Mario? That's what happens. He just finds this random pipe. He goes down and he's like, "Oh, I'm in this world now."
Literally, that's how Mario Brothers. Because it went from Mario Brothers to Super Mario Brothers, and the transition was from regular to fantasy. And to get there, it was through a warp pipe. Got isekai through a warp pipe.
That's funny. Well, yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I think it looks good. I'm excited about it. I'm gonna go see it. So
yeah, I am too.
Before today, I had no expectations that I'd have any interest in this at all. So they did a good job, clearly.
Dude, Toad is so funny.
No, I think the Toad was that was the best part of the trailer. I think Keegan-Michael Key is
he has to voice every Toad in this movie.
Yeah, no, he was playing it perfect there. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. I'm hoping Toad's in the movie a lot because Toad is actually pretty funny in Mario games. So I don't know, but well, I guess we're gonna watch it when it comes out, and we'll talk about it here on the show. So.
Hey, this font right here, the little title screen. Yeah, you sold me. Like. Mm-hmm. They didn't make nothing new. This is the game title. Just have movie in it. I love it. I'm sold. Let's go.
All right. Let's move on, boys. We got 2 more stories to get through here. Next one. This was interesting. So CD Projekt, right? They have had a rough couple of years since Cyberpunk 2077 launched. However, we talked about this last week and we were talking about it earlier. That game's actually had a bit of a resurgence the last few weeks. People are really singing its praises lately, and I don't know what prompted this, but they decided to CD Projekt announce a bunch of projects that they're working on. So they announced a new Cyberpunk game is coming. It's called Cyberpunk 2077 Orion. That's the code name, I'm assuming. It is going to be a sequel to the first game. So that is coming. Then they announced, I believe, 3 Witcher games. The Witcher Polaris, which is the beginning stage of a new saga. So I believe this is a new trilogy after The Witcher 3. Then they announced The Witcher Canis Majoris, which is going to be developed by an external studio. And this is going to be another full-fledged Witcher game, but not tied necessarily to the new trilogy. And then The Witcher Sirius, what they called, and this one is going to be it's going to be set in the Witcher universe and created with support from CD Projekt. So this is another external studio. And it's going to differ from our past productions, offering multiplayer gameplay on top of single player experience. So it's going to be co-op, some kind of co-op Witcher game as well. And then they announced another project called Hadar, and they said this is an entirely distinct IP created from scratch, and it's in the earliest stages of the creative process. So that's not going to be coming for a long time. But so we got a lot of stuff. They're working on a lot of shit, apparently. And then they promised the Witcher trilogy, they said, was going to be released 3 games over the course of 6 years is what they're aiming for, which personally think that's an insane timeline, but we can get into that. So, I mean, what do you guys make of all these announcements from
Can
CD
we
Projekt?
start with the 6 year?
Yeah,
because I've been hearing a lot of people talking about they don't know how they would do this. I think that sounds reasonable. I think they can do it. If they could deliver on the first game, they can definitely get the other games out within that time period.
Well, what do they mean by 6 years too? Are they talking about 6 years from this moment, or 6 years from the first game's release to the third game's release? Because if that's the case, that's more reasonable. I think it's possible.
That's where I think they are going with it. So I'm thinking from the time the first game released until the last game, it will be a 6-year time period.
Yeah, which would give them 3 years for the final 2 games for each game, right?
And and even with all that time, they wouldn't even need all that time because they already have, especially since they use an Unreal 5, they already have everything made. And like the next 2 games would be what you expect from things like God of War. Like it's that same game,
more iterative, yeah,
iterative and just more content. And
making new environments and characters.
Exactly.
Right?
With a game like Witcher, that's all you need. And who knows? Like the first game may have this. I don't know. I never played Witcher 2 and 3. I started 2, and I was like, nope, I can't fuck with this game.
Wait, you've never played The Witcher 2 or 3?
No,
you never played Witcher 3.
I played Witcher 2, and I didn't like the way the combat feel, and I just like it was during that tutorial mission when you was doing that siege at the beginning. I stopped right there. I was like, I don't like how this shit feel. I never played it. So I don't know if they have the same maps or whatever. If they have different maps.
So Witcher 2, Witcher 2 is my least favorite of the 3. That game is very weird, and the combat in it, I don't like the combat in 2.
So do they?
Yeah, it is really weird.
Open worlds, or is it like new locations?
No. So Witcher 1 and 2, Witcher 1 is kind of a weird like hybrid. It's sort of open world, but the game only lets you go to certain areas at certain times of the game, and then certain places will get locked out. You'll never be able to go back at certain points. So it's kind of open world, but it kind of railroads you at points. 2 is like a fully linear game, pretty much. There are choices you get to make in it where you can like I don't mean fully linear. It's not like Uncharted linear, but like there are sections of the game where you can walk around and do quests, and there are maps and stuff, but they're extremely small in The Witcher 2. And the game kind of is more focused on the main plot. The main plot is there's not that many side quests in The Witcher 2. The main plot though branches. So there's a point in the second chapter where you will have 2 different experiences. Literally, like you will do different things depending on a choice you make in the first chapter. So
yeah,
the game is smaller in scope. It's probably 20 to 30 hours. It's not an open world game at all. The Witcher 3 is a fully open world game. Like that is a full open world the way we would expect it to be. It is the best game they've ever made, period. Like It's like not even a question to me. But it is a fucking bear, though. It is a humongous game. There is like
I hear nothing but good
150
things about it. I
to
kind of figure it's
250
like
hours
one
of
of the best
content.
games ever made.
Yeah, but there's like 150 to 250 hours of content with the DLCs.
Shit.
So yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, I think you should, if you can, DJ, wait for the next gen version to come out, which will come out in December,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
And play Witcher 3. You don't need to play
yeah,
1
play
or 2.
Witcher-
Just watch a synopsis. You'll be fine.
Yeah. And then play 3, the next gen version of 3. And then I think you'll like it a lot more because, like me and you are a lot more patient, and the game requires a lot more patience. When it came out, I didn't like it because I was playing action games and all that shit like that.
You know how that be.
Well, DJ, what I'll recommend to you too is if you like if you want the game to be challenging, like Witcher 3, like I really recommend playing it on Death March. I know it's like at first is gonna feel like you're gonna die in 1 or 2 hits, but the later on, the more you level and stuff, the challenge will still be there as you get more powerful, and you will have to use everything at your disposal. It makes the game way more immersive.
I'm not more the guy on difficulty anymore. I'm more or less like fluid combat, right? And so like when a combat feels sluggish, when things feel unresponsive like that throws me off. And that's one reason why I don't play Demon Souls. Like I don't like when I press a button and I can't do anything. I have to wait for the animation or the attack to play before, like, and it has like these dumbass these input buffers inside the animation. I don't like that. I like shit like Devil May Cry and fighting games. When I press a button when it comes to combat, my action is happening immediately. Yes, I know there's timing when it comes to my actions, but I can cancel it out. Like the input buffers that had smaller frames that they come earlier compared to other games. And like that
so
right there.
Witcher 3 is like that. Yeah, Witcher 3 is like that to like a lesser degree. There is movement is something the default version of movement in the game is like really clunky to me. I kind of hate it. They have an option in the menu though. You can turn it off where Geralt will kind of like he won't just break into a run. He'll like kind of start slow and then build up speed. And then he'll do the same thing when you slow down. So he'll slow down and you won't stop immediately when you let go of the stick. So you can turn that off though. And I did. I hated that shit. It was so fucking annoying. So the game has some decent kind of modification features as well that you can take advantage of to make the game play more your style. I'm just saying, like, if you're somebody with your RPGs who wants to be really immersed in them, like playing Witcher 3 on Death March is the way to be immersed. Like you will have to use potions. You will have to read the bestiary to understand monster weaknesses. Like you can't just walk up to them.
It's an RPG game.
Yeah.
So
my point is, if you play on normal or even hard, eventually you will get to a point that you're so powerful you don't have to do any of that shit. But Death March keeps that difficulty there the whole way. So
so like how I feel about the whole thing so far, I just don't. This is not a Cyberpunk thing or a CD Projekt Red thing. This is a game industry issue I have. I kind of hate announcements like this because I feel like if your game's not coming out within the next 6 months, don't even tell me about it, bro. Like I don't fucking care. Like give me.
You know what's funny, Troy? I like announcements like this now. Like,
dude, I'm of two minds with this. So I either want it one way or the other, right? Either tell me now, like they are here, where I'm like, okay, great. I know these games exist. Don't tell me about them until they're like 6 months from release. Just shut up. We know they're here. Great. Or the opposite. Don't tell me anything and tell me about it. Like reveal it like 6 months before it's about to come out. Don't do the thing that Square Enix does, where they announce the game and then they show you a trailer every year for the next 7 years, and you fucking don't even know if the game's coming out after the 7th year. It's
my thing is like remember Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah.
When the fuck is that game coming out?
No,
and
that's fair. That's the risk when you do this, right?
I think that's a difference, right? Because with film, they actually announced it like on stage with title. Like this type of announcement, I'm fine with because this is stuff that I like to happen in the video game industry. It's like a little bit more transparency, right? It's like movies, right? It's the same shit that they do with movies. Because with movies, that you will announce the movie and we don't know anything.
They won't even go into production for a year and a half, dude.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that, right? Because with this video games, at least we know it's in production. That means the pre-production. That means the shit is being worked on, especially with the first iteration of these games. Mechanics are being built. Everything's being prototyped to see what works before they actually start polishing and building everything out, right? I don't
Well,
mind you telling me,
I
saying,
think
"Hey, we working on this, guys, and also we're going to work on these
Yeah.
sequels is going to be
well,
afterwards." But like when the game gets ready to, when it comes time to market the game, market it, right? Don't keep like doing what you said, Justin, with the Final
drip
Fantasy things.
feeding,
Like
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
need
Yeah.
that shit. Just know when it's time to market the game, market. But it's nice to know that, hey, CD Projekt Red is working on these. I can expect these games for the next couple of years for CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
no,
pretty
I,
dope.
I will say to Square
As a
Enix's
publisher,
credit,
not as the Dev CD Projekt, not
not
CD Projekt
yeah,
Red shit.
yeah. Well, I will say to Square Enix's credit, like they announced Kingdom Hearts 4, then they had some gameplay with it, or what we thought was gameplay. I don't know if it is
That's
gameplay or
definitely
not.
prototype gameplay, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely
that's my
prototype
thing.
gameplay.
That's why they
But
annoy
like,
me,
I
dude.
just want to
Like,
see, and I haven't heard anything else from the game, and that's good because I don't want to know anything else about the game. I don't want to know nothing about the game until you're like, "Yo, Kingdom Hearts about to release in 2024, this fall, or some shit like that," right? Like, don't tell me anything else about it. And like, I will give them like, okay, you announced a bunch of projects, and they got project names, and obviously, you know, there's the secret project names they're doing or whatever, and that's cool. But like y'all said, I don't want to hear nothing else about them. I don't want to talk about them. I just don't want to I don't care about them. Now, the thing that comes back to me about CD Projekt Red, and this is not just a CD Projekt Red thing, this is like a game-wide thing that kind of sparked the debate on Twitter. Was like, I was like the whole Cyberpunk thing when they first got released, right? But my thing is, it's not with Cyberpunk. These are all games. How do we tell developers that we do not care for the upon release day one patch shit, everything like that? Like Battlefield 2024 got a lot of shit when it came out because it was broken upon release. Cyberpunk got the same shit.
Yeah.
There's some other games that was mentioned too that was broken upon release that eventually got fixed. My thing is, how do we as gamers tell the developers, listen, this is not okay. Yes, we support your game, and yes, Cyberpunk is better now, but it should have been better. It should have been this upon release, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like Battlefield 2024 should have been what it is now. It should have been this upon release.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we combat that, because it's like, on one hand, right, I want to be excited for, like, because I watched the anime of Cyberpunk. I'm like, holy shit, like this is it's like a 7 out of 10 for me. I'm like, okay, it's actually pretty decent. And it's like, but I still don't want to reward them for what the fuck happened with Cyberpunk. But at the same time, I want to play Cyberpunk again. I want to give another shot, especially when DLC.
I feel like that's coming down to you punishing someone and holding a grudge. Like it's like when a kid gets in trouble, right? Yes, your kid does things to get in trouble. Yes, this is maybe something that we're paying for, but it's the same metaphor. Your kid's getting in trouble, but like that's like you holding a grudge for something they did 2 years ago. Like they not the same people. They not the same person. Shit happens, shit evolve. Yes, we go because I like that we hold the developers and things of that nature to the standard. You release something bad, you shouldn't have did this X, Y, and Z. Then we start to get more information, because usually games like this is because they are being forced to release it, right? It's not the developer's fault. But either or, we don't. That's not a good thing, right? It doesn't matter who fault it is, developer or publisher. It shouldn't have been released in this condition. But at the same time, we have to give developers credit, because we do know that sometimes shit doesn't get fixed. People just leave it as is. But you have companies, at least developers, who care enough, like CD Projekt Red and the team DICE, who makes Battlefield, to keep working on the game to get it to what you want the game to be and what they promise to deliver you. Besides just leaving known that, and then and as gamers, we cannot allow these developers to spend their time and their money to make these changes, and we still punish them for something they did when they first were launched. Like, they doing things to get your attention. Yes, it should have been done day one, and it wasn't, but they are doing the make good. They want it to be the game that they wanted it to be. And then, like, for us as gamers, not even giving them a chance to play those games after they make their fixes, then we supposed to expect, oh, we wait to the next game. Then the next game, if the same thing happened or we don't get it, it's our fault, because then it goes again to the thing when it comes to we
Well,
shouldn't support developers who are doing bad, but once they're doing good, we can't criticize them for the bad that they did in the past, criticize them for what they're doing now, and they're doing it good,
Yeah.
and we can't like not support them for that. And that's the
Yeah,
problem, because we support doing the bad but not doing the good. And that happens all throughout the game industry.
Yeah, but okay. So I think you're right, but this is like a cyclical thing with games, and I've talked about this before, where CD Projekt sold a shit ton of Cyberpunk 2077 copies. Right, the game sold like fucking crazy, despite the issues that it had. Their next game, whatever it is, whether it's this Cyberpunk Orion or one of these Witcher games,
we need to hold them to that standard.
No. That game is going to feel the repercussions of what happened with Cyberpunk. It is going to. I fucking guarantee you guys this. It will sell less than Cyberpunk, like significantly less, because people will remember that this brand is tainted. They tainted their own brand, right? So that is going to happen. And the second thing on this is their next game. That is when we have to hold them accountable. It's not like, you're right, the holding a grudge or like always bringing it up. Yeah.
No, I say hold them accountable in the second game.
You have to hold
release in the state what Cyberpunk is
that's
right now.
That's what I'm saying. You have to, the next game, it better come out stable. Like if they do that Cyberpunk thing again, then we're in a point where like they are kind of who they are now. Like they've become this studio that releases games that are not finished or not polished, blah, blah, blah. The thing was with Cyberpunk, I feel like Cyberpunk's a very unique situation because I think it was just really poor decision-making by leadership that fucked that game up. They decided to release the game on PS4 and Xbox One when they should have cut those versions out and made them made this game for next gen, and they did not want to do it. They were greedy. They wanted to get as much money as they could with an install base that was fucking huge, and it fucking bit them in the ass. Like they fucked up, and it is what it is. We're going to move forward. Whatever this next game is, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to play Cyberpunk, actually. Like I said earlier, like when that expansion comes out, the PS5 version comes out, I'm going to play it because I've heard that this game is actually really good.
But
it's
y'all
just
do not understand the half of it. Like, Montrell, it frustrates me that you won't play Cyberpunk. You don't understand how pissed off that makes. I know there's a lot of games that me and you we don't agree with, and you like and I don't like, and etc. Yeah. But it really pisses me off that Montrell doesn't play Cyberpunk because I know that this is his type of game. I know that this is Montrell's fucking type of game, and he won't even give it a fucking chance. Because I know if you play this shit right now, you will fucking love this game. By the time you beat the game, after you have your complete experience with this shit, you will fucking love this game, Montrell. It is literally that fucking good. I never played a Witcher, so to me, this is the fucking best CD Projekt Red game. After I play Witcher, whether I complete it and do everything or just beat the game, I would probably say that game is good because I hear nothing but good things about the game, how people talk about the game, and it may be their best game.
No, I mean, right like
this is their fucking best. It's like
whatever the highest quality moment is in Cyberpunk.
Environment, the presentation, the fucking world, like the world really does truly feel lived in, and I do not get that a lot, especially from open world games. The only time I get that from open world games is shit like Grand Theft Auto. But like for this game, it really does feel like Mass Effect. When I say the world has history, it really does feel like you're exploring something else. Like, man, the game is so fucking good, bro. When you just drive around, especially coming out from the countryside, and you see these long ass fucking light up new billboards light the sky, then you actually get in and you see like it's so good. It's like You have to play it. You have to play it. When y'all play, y'all understand.
But like, I'll compare this to Blizzard, right? Blizzard has a reputation now, right? Like they are who they are. CD Projekt made a mistake. They fucked up one game. That's a different thing. They don't have to me. That's not their reputation right now. Like it's totally dependent on what their next release is, how it does, how it looks, how it plays. How stable is it, right? Blizzard to me, they're a fucking money grubbing, greedy ass motherfucking company. They're shitty place to work. Apparently they treat women like shit. Like that company is like the fucking bottom of the barrel to me, you know? They can still make a quality game, but do I support them inherently? No. Like if I play Overwatch 2, I'm gonna probably resist paying money for that game as much as I possibly
do it.
can.
I'm still doing it. Like ever since this shit came out, I have yet to put in money to Warzone. I'm not, like I will play the game because it's free, but I'm like I'm not putting anything into it.
Yeah.
So like that, I guess that was y'all answered my question. Like just give it another chance. Like especially with companies like this that messed up one time and then tried.
They had a sterling reputation before this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
There's no reason to believe that they're like a completely different company now.
But my thing is like with DICE, right?
Yeah.
This is not their first game they fucked up on. It happened with Battlefield 5.
They have a reputation, right?
Yeah.
Like they have a reputation now. Like DICE is like not hilarious, but it's like it's sad because they used to be really good, and they just like they just seem like they're just like a bad studio now. Like they can't even make a good game. You know, like I don't know what the fuck happened.
I just think it's
EA
leadership.
was like that with the Need for Speed franchise, and now the game is looking phenomenal. Need for Speed Heat. Really fucking good racing game. Then the new one that's coming out in December, it's literally anime. It's fucking anime. The game is cel shaded. It looks beautiful. You got effects that be happening, speed lines and oh, bro. Did y'all see the trailer? Did y'all see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh,
I
debated. So fucking good, bro.
I debated putting it on the news list.
I'm playing the fuck out of it. But like that was literally EA with Need for Speed. Like it had the good reputation at the beginning. That for some reason throughout the 7th generation of consoles, it starts to feel and they start to make these crapshoot ass racing games, and then recently within like their last 2 releases,
they took a significant break at some point in the PS4 generation, like multiple years where there was no Need for Speed game, and that's when Heat came.
And they started making quality games back, and I like it, and I'm glad now. Just like what y'all said with CD Projekt, right? One bad game, you didn't get this reputation yet. Let's see what the next game is going to be. That's literally what Need for Speed is right now. Is that hey, we got 2 quality games. Like, is this a good trend, or is y'all can go back to making shit quality shit games? And now this 3rd game looks like it's going to be good. I can't wait till it comes out. Like, I never been this excited to play a Need for Speed game since fucking like Underground, like Carbon. That's what was at the Underground
2. Underground 2, probably.
Underground 2 and Carbon.
Underground's incredible. Underground 2 I was hyped for, and then that game disappointed me. I didn't like it didn't feel the same as Underground 1. But in retrospect, Underground 2 is still really good. You know, but you know. Well, what was the one after that? Most Wanted?
No, Wanted. It was Carbon. It was Carbon, and then it was Most Wanted.
No, it was Most Wanted, then it was Carbon.
No, it was Most Wanted because Most Wanted was on 360 because I played Most Wanted on 360. I remember playing Carbon on my fucking Wii and my PS2.
No, you didn't.
Google. Let's go to Google.
Okay, Need for Speed Carbon. I played Need for Speed Carbon on Wii. I played
piece of that. All
I
right.
played Need for Speed Carbon on Wii. It released on October 30th, 2006. I played it on the Wii. This is the reason I remember this.
Shit. Oh, you're right, because Most Wanted was a launch game for the 360.
Yes. It was a 2005 game. Yes, it came out in 2005. Yes. I got you, bitch.
The way Justin said it, he was like, he was so confident. He's like, nope.
No, this is because, dude, I was so into Need for Speed during this era of like 4 or 5 years. I played Underground 1, 2, Most Wanted, and Carbon. Carbon was the last one I played because that was like it wasn't that good. Like, but Underground 1, 2, and the first Most Wanted were fucking amazing fucking racing games.
I started with Hot Pursuit 2. That was my first one. And I remember bringing that to school, and my friends was like, "Oh, you got Hot Pursuit too?" I didn't know it was a big deal.
Most Wanted 1 might be the best Need for Speed game that they've ever made. Like I legitimately believe that game is fucking awesome. Like,
I would agree. Most Wanted was probably the best one. Like, if I don't pick Most Wanted, I'm picking Underground 2. And then if I'm not picking Need for Speed, I'm picking Midnight Club 3 Double Edition.
Oh, Midnight Club 3 Double Edition is like by far one of my top favorite racing games. Like, for real. That game.
Chef's Kiss.
That game, man. That game. I played that game for fucking hours. And then hearing big timers every time you turn on the fucking menu.
Bro, that's what we need for Underground 2. The Riders on the Storm. Oh.
No, Underground 1 for me was that game. I played that game forever. I had a friend I would play online with him. This motherfucker was ridiculous. He was so good at this game, dude. He was playing it like a sim, bro. He would manually gear shift. He manually gear shifted in a Need for Speed game to the point that he did it to such a point and he dominated me so hard playing that way that I started playing that way in fucking Need for Speed 1. And I'm like, God damn. It was fucking crazy. So I love Need for Speed Underground. It's so good. But all right, we got sidetracked here. Let's get into our final story and get the fuck out of here. So we got is Silas whining in the background? Is that
he sneaked up for me and like sniffed my leg and I didn't know that was him. And I kind of jerked real hard. Yeah.
His ass. Oh, is he crying? Is he like crying? Is that him whining in the background right now?
Yeah, he just whined a little bit.
Man up, Silas. Stop being a little bitch, man. He's a little bitch boy. All right. So there was a new game announced called Wild Hearts. I've never heard of this, but it had a 7-minute gameplay trailer shown. IGN showed this yesterday, in fact, and this is a Monster Hunter style game. And Montrell, you seem pretty excited about this. You want to give your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a Monster Hunter style game. It's made by the people who made Dynasty Warriors.
Okay.
So they're attempting to make something new. Dynasty Warriors always had great animation. So when I saw this,
Omega Force. Okay.
Yeah, when I saw this, and I wasn't as soon as I saw that they were making it,
this
and
looks
I saw
exactly like Rise. What the fuck are you? Come on, the fucking bamboo trees and shit. Come on, man.
Yeah, so it's in the Japanese setting. They wanted to make a game in a Japanese setting. The difference between this game and Rise is this game's only 3 players per mission.
Okay,
you can't do 4 players.
That's
they have these little devices that's almost like Fortnite like. And you can make you drop it down and it can make stuff and make traps on the whim and everything like that. I'm pretty sure there's a limit to how much you use it, and what devices you need. You gather materials and everything like that. I don't know if it's a proceeding like a constant open world or if it's zone based like Monster Hunter is. They said it was zone based. It's zone based. Okay, so I think that's the best route to go in. The zones look fucking huge, though. I'm glad this is on a next gen console. Like, this is what I wanted from Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
So the game looks really good. The animations,
motherfucker just built a trebuchet and like,
yeah, you saw that, right? So, but the game doesn't look like God Eater. Like the problem I had for the longest with Monster Hunter clones were they were too anime, like too fucking anime.
They went with speed, they were trying to play speed,
exactly. Like not Sudoku.
Freedom Wars did that.
Freedom Wars, Soul Eater. Well, actually, I like Soul Eater,
bro.
But it
did
still
he just
was like
summon the fucking like Orochimaru fucking gates? Like, what the fuck, dude?
So the game looks not slow, but like it looks like it has decent animations where you can't just you're not a fucking ninja, but you have to, but you are fast enough. So it's like Rise in the instance, right, where you have a lot of tools at your disposal to make yourself
for
move
movement,
fast.
right? Yeah, for mobility.
So I think the game looks really good. I think Monster Hunter's been getting a little bit too laxed lately because they don't really have any competition, and I'm hoping this is the competition to make them like, okay, maybe we shouldn't go, putting monsters in every fucking 2 months or some shit like that. Maybe you should make a complete fucking game, huh? Monster Hunter? Yeah, maybe I should do that.
Why is this boar so big, dude? Jesus Christ,
bro! It's literally a Bullfango, bro. What are you talking about?
Bullfango's like a little baby compared to this thing, dude.
It's the giant event Bullfango. I thought you did that with me.
No, I don't think I did. But no, dude, this is like a fucking Elder Dragon sized boar, like bigger than that. Jesus Christ.
You gotta play Monster Hunter.
You never played Monster Hunter? Yeah, you never played Monster Hunter, so don't worry about it.
So
look it up.
I'm glad. I'm glad this game's coming out. I'm gonna play it because Dauntless tried to be that competition to Monster Hunter, but I just feel like Dauntless. I played Dauntless for like 30 hours, and I was like, it's okay. But it's not there yet.
God, the hip checks, dude. They got the hip checks in here too. Oh my god.
So this game Dauntless as well. They really got their animations down really well, but Dauntless went like too much the free to play route, And like it was, you had the craft material, and the craft material, there's a timer on it and everything. It was terrible. But like with this game, this I don't think is gonna be free to play. You got to pay to buy the game or whatever. But like I said, it looks like a quality Monster Hunter clone. And I think we need more hunting games. So I'm actually glad that I'm surprised EA picked this up. Was the EA first game? I think this is one of their like projects that they're trying out.
It says EA Originals, yeah.
EA Originals, there you go. And I think this is one of their projects they're trying out. So I mean, I hope it sells well, and I hope it. It looks good. So we gotta get some more information on it. But I just want it to be a direct competition to Monster Hunter because I want Monster Hunter to get better as well.
Well,
like, I'm not gonna drop this game. I'm not gonna drop Monster Hunter instantly. If both of them are good, then both of them are gonna get played. If that makes any sense. So,
it's coming on February 17th, 2023. So it's actually not that far out.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's cool.
The monsters look pretty cool here. I will say there is a little bit of a sameness between the aesthetic of them. That is one negative I'm seeing so far, but the gameplay looks pretty solid though, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm with you, dude. I mean, I think it's well documented our kind of issues with Monster Hunter right now. And I agree with you. I think Capcom has gotten a little complacent with the series, and I think they legitimately just need some competition to kick them in the ass and incentivize them to do more, because we know the fan base cannot be relied upon to hold them accountable. So
at all.
No, dude, no.
I mean, even us, like we bought Rise and at start.
I know,
at
but
launch,
like, how long did we play it? Like,
I saw the way that y'all play Monster Hunter games and the way that y'all talk about them is how I talk about 2K games every year. And y'all still buy them. Y'all still buy them. It's fine. It's fine because you crave it. And this is a great thing about competition, right? Is that it's the same reason why I want competition in an NBA game, sports market, and why I want Live to start making games again. Because Live Night Scene wasn't even that bad. Like different, but
that's the thing I think that drives 2K. Like I said, I have my quarrels with 2K,
especially that would drive Monster Hunter.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the thing that, in my opinion, compared to Madden, right? I don't really complain. When I complain about 2K, it's mainly the like advertising, how they push the VC and everything. It was like that pachinko machine commercial I saw and everything. That shit was like crazy.
Like a couple years ago. Yeah.
That's my main. I never complain about the gameplay because I always know my players really good and everything like that. So that was my thing with 2K. When I complained about Madden, like there's always like a host of things, and the thing I think that separates Madden from 2K is the reason that NBA, they don't have the NBA license. They do, but it's not exclusive to them. So if they fuck up one time, someone can go to Live and be like, this is not bad. 2K 2024 was fucking ass. So I'm going to try Live 2024.
All I've been saying is that they just got to make Live again. Because like I said, Live 19 was not that bad of a game. Even now, me and Juan go back and play that game a lot. But like, because it's different. Like I feel that game has a skill base, so it's kind of arcadey, right? But it's still fun to play, right? Like I don't need it to play like super realistic or semi-realistic to have fun. But like, if Live was to come out, all they have to do is take like 1% of the fan base, right? 2% of the fan base, because over time, those players that's tired of 2K will eventually switch to Live just to try it out, especially if the game is on sale. You're going to eventually start to steal some of 2K's fan base if that game come out. But like they won't do it, or they will release the game and won't release the game the following year. Like no, like if you want to be in competition, you got to keep releasing games and keep stealing the fan base, because 2K players are getting tired of what 2K is, and then the more people that switch over to Live, the more better 2K will have to, they will have to make changes. Like how Live updates their players and their so-called my player, I like it, right? It could be a little bit of improvement, but I like it. And I say this all the time in our group chat, Terrell, when I talk to Chris about MLB, I like how they have their my player. It's just like 2K and everybody else. You upgrade your character by earning some sort of currency that you put into your character to update. But at the same time, how MLB works is that depending on what you do in the game, Like that shit affects your stats. And so to relate that to 2K, if I'm shooting a lot of threes and I'm making them, it's going to upgrade my overall. But if I'm missing a lot, it's going to drop that overall. And so like depending on what you do affects your stats. And I fucking, if 2K has that shit besides just buying your stats and it was just based on how you play, I think that shit would be dope as fuck. That shit would be like fucking live. But like you need competition for shit like that to even happen.
Exactly, yeah, and like that's where I was going. Like I think Madden doesn't have that competition because they have license exclusivity, so they don't really need the incentive to do that. And I think the same thing was happening with the Monster Hunter or the hunting genre, where games tried to come in and do that, but they never really tried. They never got the formula of what made Monster Hunter Hunter.
They feel like cash grabs. They just doing it for the money.
Well, that like God Eater 1, 2, and 3 and 4, like they just moved. It was just too anime. Like they always tried to. They thought the community wanted more movement. Like I think when people were playing those games, like what was that one game me, you, and Tori playing? Like way back when it was like Sudoku or something like that. I can't remember the fucking name of it.
Yeah. Tukiden.
Tukiden, I think it was called. Yeah. Like that game, the movement was just, and like Tori loved it because he's like, yeah, Monster Hunter, you just move too fucking slow. But it's like, I don't think you move too slow in Monster Hunter. I think you just gotta learn how to move in the game because you can move very fast with certain weapons, like dual blades.
I complain about Bloodborne and Demon Souls, like, hey, the Bloodborne moves a lot faster.
Yeah, like with dual blades and Monster Hunter, you can zip around like a fucking ninja. You literally do the Naruto run with your swords and shit like that. So it's like, it's just certain things. And I think the developers who made like the Monster Hunter clones, they just thought the community wanted to do stuff like that, and the community doesn't. The community just wants like a quality ass game.
Bro, if you want a Naruto run, just play dual blades. I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, like if you want that movement, but this is just like the developers who made these games, they just think everybody wants super fast movement. And like even when I'm playing God Eater, right? I played it. And he has like a huge greatsword, but he's running around like it's paperweight. And it's like, I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like when I have a greatsword in fucking Monster Hunter, I can barely move. But when I do move and when I do swing my sword, you best believe something's getting chopped off. Like it's one of those type of feelings. And it's like, I think this game is kind of trying to aim towards that. Like they're trying to aim towards that feel of what it is. So hopefully it's good. From what I saw so far, is checking all the right boxes. They need a little bit more monster variety, but I do understand this is the first game, so
I do think the gadget system kind of looks a little overpowered based on what
it looks too Fortnite-y to me.
Yeah, like, we'll see how that plays because that's probably my biggest concern is that right now.
Yeah, but that's all I got to say about it.
Alrighty, fair enough. All right, boys, let's get the fuck out of here. It's 2 hours 45 minutes in right now. I'm fucking starving. So, all right, guys, if you like this show, please like the show, review the show, subscribe to the show, and whatever feed you're listening to it on. Please share it with your friends. If you'd like to interact with us on Twitter, you can do so at iTrap for the Hokage for Montrell. That is the number 4, not the word. I'm at Thunder.01, and the show is at The Player's Take. DJ, do you want to plug your stuff real quick?
Yes, you can follow me at Deejay Hyuga. That's Hyuga spelled like the Naruto clan from Hyuga. DJ spelled out Deejay. I'm getting ready to switch my social handles very soon. So when that happens, like just be prepared for that. Besides that, I'm making a game. I haven't been posting nothing all this year, but I'm looking to start posting within the next month or two. Just been rebuilding my game. So now I think I'm at a more comfortable mode. So be on the lookout for that.
Alrighty, nice. If you guys like to send us questions, you can do so at The Player's Take on Twitter, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com. And that is it for us, boys. Everybody, we hope you enjoyed this show, and we'll see you next week. Bye.